It's been 14 years since the Buffalo Sabres have hosted a playoff game at home. Tonight, they will host Game 1 against the Boston Bruins here in the Eastern Conference quarterfinals at the KeyBank Center in Buffalo, New York. Hello, everybody. I'm Max. Glad you can be with us here on our coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs. As the Buffalo Sabres end their 14-year playoff drought, they host game number 1 here at home, and the Boston Bruins are going to start on the road here against the Buffalo Sabres. So both of these teams did not make the playoffs last year. Boston barely missing. They were 8th, I think, in their conference. They were one of the worst, and now they have come back out of wild card spot and will face these Sabres, who have won their division, the Atlantic Division. And all of a sudden, too, in December, in the first half of December, it looked like the Sabres were going to, annually miss the playoffs because they had not gotten a good start to the season. But now, ever since December, they have been soaring, and now they're in the playoffs, and it's going to be a raucous game number 1 here at KeyBank Center. And, you got to watch out for Tage Thompson, who was very good in the regular season for the Buffalo Sabres with 40 goals, and he had 81 points that led the team in the regular season. But you got to know Pastrnak is going to be a key contributor for the Bruins as 29 goals, 71 assists. He had 100 points in the regular season. You've got to know, if you're the Buffalo Sabres, you got to shut down Pastrnak, and if you're the Bruins, you got to shut down Tage Thompson. But the Buffalo Sabres and the Bruins have been two teams that have shocked. The last time they met was back in the regular season. One ended in overtime, 4-3. The Bruins won that matchup. But you got to know, the regular season is way different compared to the playoffs, and it's going to be a raucous atmosphere for game number 1 here at the KeyBank Center. We'll show you some footage I saw online of, I'm not sure what it was. It was the Sabres fans outside the KeyBank Center, and see if I can pull that up here. It was hilarious. This city is ready for playoff hockey. The Buffalo Sabres and Buffalo are ready to see playoff hockey because it has been a very, very long time since the Sabres have made the playoffs. It is chaos over there. And let's see if I can pull up the footage right here. And let's see. Here we go. Look at this. It is pure chaos in Buffalo as, man, oh, man. They're ready. You think the Buffalo Sabres fans are ready? They're ready to fight for their playoff lives as they start their journey, and hopefully, for them, they can get far in these playoffs, as this is the first time they have made the Stanley Cup playoffs in 14 years. They haven't made it since 2011. That is a very long time. And, they finally break the drought. They host Game 1, and you've got to expect some great atmosphere here with the fans. There's a story, actually, that the season ticket holders got the tickets, obviously, when they put the Game 1 tickets online, when they did make the playoffs, and they were hosting Game 1 here at the KeyBank Center. There were only 4,000 tickets left. There was 30,000 fans of Buffalo waiting in the queue, and right now, they are triple or quadruple the value these resellers have sold these tickets, as they're now $1,000, it seems like, to even get into the KeyBank Center for this playoff game number 1. And you've got to know, this whole town and this whole city is just ready for this building to explode. We'll be right back as the Sabres host the Bruins in game number 1 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals. We'll hear from the anthems, and the opening face-off is coming up next here on the NHL and MHS. We'll be back, everybody. Welcome you back here to Buffalo as the Sabres just moments away. They're about to take the ice here. Game 2 of this series would be on Tuesday. We might cover that. We may not. Just depends. And it should be good. Right now in the another Eastern Conference quarterfinal series right now that just started today. As 4 series did start today. One of the ones was back in the West. The Avalanche and the Kings. That one was a 2-1 win for the Avs, and they took game 1 of the series. And that was an even tighter game than most people expected against the President's Trophy Avalanche, but they do come up with the victory there. And right now, I believe from when I last checked, it's Tampa Bay and Montreal. The Lightning with a 2-1 lead. They scored 2 goals in around more than 30 seconds apart from each other. To give them the lead was Brandon Hagel, who got the 2-1 lead, and that game is going on. We'll check in on that, obviously, throughout our coverage here of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and obviously in our intermission report, maybe we can have a view of that, obviously, throughout the intermission, and see what's going on in Tampa Bay. Share the stream around as we are getting ready for playoff hockey here in Buffalo. That has not been said in a very long time here, more than a decade. And they are prepared for it. And you got to know the home crowd is putting on the pressure on these Buffalo Sabres. This crowd is ready for playoff hockey as the flag being brought out here, and the starting lineup here in Buffalo. This crowd's ready for some playoff hockey. Man, oh man, it is loud here at the KeyBank Center. And the national anthems about to happen here.
By the New York State Police Honor Guard. And now the singing of O Canada and the Star Spangled Banner performed tonight by Cammie Clooney.
Oh Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, a true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
This crowd's ready in Buffalo. They're ready for some playoff hockey. Man, oh man. What a matchup we got here tonight. Obviously the Bruins and the Sabres, and to get the drum going is Rick Jenneret's, I believe, wife or sister. There's Jeremy Swayman, postseason career, 9-10-0, 922 save percentage, and 18 starts. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen making his first playoff appearance of his NHL career. In the regular season, he had a 910 save percentage, and he debuted back in April 2021 against these Bruins. So it's been a long time, and the man who has coached them to end the drought, Lindy Ruff, and he's coached those great Buffalo teams back in the 90s and the 2010s and the 2000s. We're underway here in Buffalo. For the first time in 14 years, they have hosted a playoff game. Intercepted at center. It is shot back in by Alex Tuck in game one in the first round between the Bruins and the Sabres. Middlestad trying to clear it. That looked like a high stick, and no penalty being thrown there. Dahlin holds it in at the line. Knocked down. Tuck couldn't get it. Poked ahead here by Arvidsson. He'll move it ahead along the half wall. On the perimeter, angled off there by Samuelson. It's a sold-out building here in Buffalo. It is the atmosphere inside KeyBank Center is electric right now. Electric during the intros. Here's Zadorov. And then you're the Bruins. You're trying to quiet this crowd down quickly, because if they explode, if the Buffalo Sabres get the first one, it's going to be real tough for the Bruins to get in this game. Deflected back in by the Sabres, and Benson on the forecheck. It's Doan. Moved it ahead and intercepted along the wall by Benson. Pressure from behind by Zadorov. He got along the half wall. Doan looks to center one. Norris was there, and Pasternak almost gave it away to Norris. And now that pass intended there for Geekie, pardon me. Geekie tied up along the corner boards. Ustedinov has it. Deflected over the net by Mitten as he was tied up there. Power trying to clear it. Lindholm trying to hold it in, and he couldn't. Shot back in by the Bruins from the center line. And the Sabres, his power falls down, but the puck got it ahead. Here come the Sabres back in. McLeod drops it. Shot! And that goes wide of the net. And Mitten will move it ahead here for the for the Bruins. Ustedinov goes across the ice, and that deflected away. And here come the Sabres the other way, looking to transition. Zucker got ahead McLeod. McLeod going across the ice. The pass, the shot! And it missed wide. McLeod holds it at the blue line as he sends it low. The Sabres are going to strike here early. Shot from the blue line was stopped by Swayman. Crowd electric here as they have their rally towels. They have not been able to do that in 14 years. But now tonight they can do it as they're in the playoffs. And this playoff atmosphere, this building was rocking back in the 90s and the 2000s with those teams. Back then, with Hasek in goal for the Sabres. Off the draw, Kastelik, and then Aspero around the wall. Got it out, and going back for the puck here, Samuelson is icing on the Bruins, actually, so the faceoff will go back into their zone. A little bit of a bump there by Janot on Samuelson there, as it's starting to heat up here already. Marco Sturm, the head coach of the Bruins, first playoff appearance as the NHL head coach in his career. And he's led these Bruins to a playoff spot, wild card position, to play against these Sabres. Kaslik in the faceoff dot trying to win it. He could not against Dunn. Janot pokes it ahead. Tanner Janot angled off there by Samuelson. Kaslik shoved off the puck, and Dahlin has some trouble there, but he got it ahead here, and here come the Sabres the other way. Mallenstein got it ahead. Oslin, the shot was blocked on the way through. Mallenstein in behind the net. As it's Dunn playing that back. Dahlin played it, shot. Samuelson wide. Along the wall. Josh Dunn gets it free, and then it was poked away, and McAvoy moved it ahead here for Corrali. It got blocked off of Dahlin's body, and here come the Sabres the other way. Mallenstein trying to get there first, but Aspro does instead. Zadorov fills down, but he got it to Aspro, and then the return feedback for Zadorov in behind the net. Only one shot, and it belongs to the Sabres here early on, more than 3 minutes in. Power will move it ahead as they cross the blue line. Krebs dropped it. Thompson trying to make a move, and he could not. Oh, what a hit there on Arvidsson by Alex Tuck. Wow. Middlestad will move it ahead now. Crossing through center ice. Middlestad waiting. Shot. Tough angle. Loose puck. And there was no whistle on that shot from the boards. And here come the Sabres the other way. Paying Krebs on the outside. Circles back. Krebs on the backhand. Played that back to the point for Tuck. Fed it in behind the net now for Norris. Where's the puck? It's covered up by Swayman at the side of the net. And we get a whistle less than 4 minutes into the first period. We have not had much whistles here in the game. And this one was weird on Luukkonen because he thought he had covered it, but then Arvidsson poked it free. Wow. Face-off will be in the Bruins zone. Lindholm and Norris in the draw. And the face-off, battled for in the dot. Norris won it free. Fed it in behind the net as Doan was trying to get it away from Lohrei. Pasternak now from the boards, trying to feed it into the middle for Geekie. Samuelson chipped it ahead. Knocked down by Benson in his own blue line, but it couldn't carry it in as they would have been offside if they carried it ahead. Here's Pasternak 2-on-1. Pasternak passed it, and he was tied up from behind Lindholm. And here comes Benson the other way. 3-on-3 crossing the blue line. Benson passed it. Shot! And it missed wide. Played back to the point. Doan. Now a shot by Norris was blocked. Benson in behind the net looks to center one, and he couldn't. Doan was parked in front. And now it is Hampus Lindholm moving it ahead. Blocked off at center. That looked like a high stick. They did not call it. Pasternak got hit up high, and they did not call anything on that. Min will chip it in. Back into the Sabres zone. 5 minutes into the first period here in Buffalo. A turnover. Hustadinov into the middle. Hustadinov gets it back. Shot blocked on the way through. Held in the zone, though, by Aspero. Aspero gets it back. Shot from the point was deflected wide off of bodies. Min in the corner. Playing it on the backhand. Got it to the opposite corner for Hustadinov, who gets pressured along the boards there by Quinn. Hustadinov trying to battle back for the puck. And it's held under the line by Aspero, who has some room. Aspero passed it. Shot! And it was blocked on the way through. And a centering pass there. Shot blocked on the way through again. Buffalo can't get it out of their own zone, and now they will, and Zucker was trying to get it, and Zadorov was there. Bruins chip it back in on the backhand as Stanley will go for the puck, one of the trade acquisitions for the Sabres during the trade deadline. Centering pass here for Zadorov in the circle. He circles back and he plays that back for Corrali. The shot! That missed wide as it deflected off of bodies. Cleared out the center. Corrali knocked it down, and it's shot back in by Janot. Blocked off a body of a Sabre. And Stanley got it in behind his own net. Logan Stanley deflected it ahead, 2-on-2, and it's onside, they say. Mallenstein looked back at the linesman to make sure. As Aspero will move it ahead. Here come the Bruins. Stanley, and there's a collision, and there's a whistle, and I think there's going to be a penalty. I think there's a too many men call. And so, the Sabres, I believe, are going to the power play. We'll see. Have to make sure on that. We'll be right back and give you the update on that. Welcome you back, everybody. I made a mistake. It was not a penalty on the Bruins. For a moment it did, but this crowd is just so loud in here. I thought there was a penalty, and it looked like they were reacting to something that was being called, but nothing was called there. And this crowd, pretty loud. From the looks of it here at the KeyBank Center, I think it was just a big collision. This chance here by Pasternak earlier on, and the pass could not connect there for Geekie, I believe. And then this missed high stick from Benson, that looked like it should have been a penalty, and they didn't call it. Referees missed a call there. Bruins intercept along the wall. Zacha got it in behind the net now, as Arvidsson battles free. Wraparound attempt was stopped. Zacha has it. Shot from the boards was stopped there by Luukkonen. Rebound Aspero. And another save there by Luukkonen as deflected off of bodies. Owen Power will move it ahead. And now Thompson with some room. Tage Thompson missed the net wide. And deflected out of play. Oh, that was close. For the first Buffalo Sabres playoff goal in 14 years. And I think Swayman got a piece of that, too, with the stick. Wow. Tage Thompson, their best offensive player. 40 goals in the regular season, 41 assists. Only missed one game, and that was against Dallas, the final game of the season for these Buffalo Sabres. Benson, so he has not played in a little bit. Tage Thompson played back to the point. Across the ice it goes. Stanley a drive. Save, rebound. Swayman stopped that one. In behind the net now, Benson. Pressure from behind by Lori. They all jam for it behind the net. Hampus Lindholm lost it. Benson off the turnover. And then it's cleared out of the zone by Kaslik. And now another stretch pass ahead by Timmins. And Lori intercepts. Drops it off here for Hampus Lindholm. And it's deflected ahead here as Janot tried to carry it ahead. He did. Timmins got ridden off the boards by Kaslik, as now it is Norris flipping it out to center ice. Knocked down here, Benson. Benson tried to control that puck, then lost it to Andrew Peak, but then Doan steals it in behind the net. Returned back here to Zadorov, who will ice the puck here for the Bruins with 12:10 to go here in the first period. Welcome you in if you're just joining us. Share the stream around as we are having radio coverage, basically, of the Buffalo Sabres game against these Boston Bruins. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals. Share the stream around. Vote in our poll for right now. Who will win Game 1? 80% of our votes have gone to the Sabres, and only 20 to the Bruins. Put in the chat who you're going for, the Bruins or the Sabres here in this series. Corrali and McLeod in the face-off dot. McLeod won the draw. He got it in the corner, then lost it. Held in almost at the line by Byram. And the Bruins look to take it away here. Corrali shoots it around the boards. The opposite side here for Pasternak. Angled off there from behind by Byram. McLeod, around it goes. Intercepted along the wall. Geeky in behind the net. Pasternak trying to get to the loose puck. He couldn't. Samuelson riding off Geeky there in behind the net. Zadorov intercepts along the half wall. Plays it back here for Pasternak. He drags and a fired shot was blocked. Quinn got it out to center. Here come the Sabres. Quinn carries it ahead. Drop pass was onside. It looked like shot wide of the net. Byram in the corner played it into the behind the net. Looking at center one for Zucker and a save made. Rebound was loose in front. Held out the line though by Byram. Bowen Byram up high. High slot shot. Byram save made. Swayman with the glove. And we got some pushing and shoving after the whistle. Shots are 4-1 Sabres. The chance here for Zucker. A great pass from behind the net there by Jack Quinn, who had 31 assists in the regular season. Trying to get assists there to set up the first goal for the Sabres in the game. And Zucker robbed. High danger chances right now along into the Sabres in 2-0. The Bruins really have to step up their offensive game here, because the Sabres are just feeding off this playoff atmosphere and energy that they've probably never seen or heard before in their careers. Most of these Sabres have been with the same team for a long time, and they've heard booing. They haven't heard a loud and full KeyBank Center in a long time. Icing here on the Bruins, and the faceoff will go back into the Boston end. Lindy Ruff responsible for getting these Sabres back into the playoffs. I believe second year back as the Buffalo coach, as they missed last year, and are back in this year. 11:04 to go here in this first period. Off the draw, Tage Thompson tried to win it, couldn't. Elias Lindholm, Hustadinov gets rocked to the ground. Wow, what a crushing hit there. Dahlin got it ahead here for Thompson, who has some room, fires a shot, rebound. Swayman stops him as well. And Thompson's tied up with Aspero after the whistle. And here we go again. The Sabres crowd on their feet as the players exchange some words and some punches. 10:45 to go in the first. Man, oh man. What a crushing hit here by Samuelson on Hustadinov. Man. And then Tage Thompson with two chances. Swayman stopping him. Swayman is keeping the Bruins in this game right now. So far in the early stages of here, game one, this Buffalo crowd is truly electric right now. And if the Sabres get a goal, it's going to get even more. Already in the game, we have 23 combined hits. We're not even halfway through the first period. Wow. The Bruins with 12 and the Sabres with 11. This has been a very physical game, and it's going to be a very physical series, it seems like. Hustadinov will move it ahead. Backhanded attempt to try to put it deep into the zone was blocked away, and Power has the puck now. Owen Power carries it through center. Tried to pass that one. As a little bit of trouble there by Benson. Played that back to Power. Hustadinov along the wall. That's offside on the Bruins. 10:23 to go. And another pushing and shoving after the whistle. You've got to know, these teams have met the previous matchup. I mentioned early in the regular season, 4-3. This Bruins came back to win that one. And obviously in the playoff history, obviously that famous Mayday from the late, great Rick Jeanneret for that big goal back in 1993 in that series between the Bruins and the Sabres, and then the latest matchup with Miroslav Shaton getting that double overtime winner. And the Bruins went on to win that series in 6 in 2011, I believe, or 2010. It was 2010 in that series. So some moments between these two teams. Off the draw. Won by the Bruins outside the Sabres blue line. What a crushing hit again! Man, have the Sabres delivered on the hit category here. Deflected in by Malenstein. Hampus Lindholm off the boards. Trying to stretch it ahead here from Middlestad. Intercepted by Stanley. Timmins has the puck and he'll stretch it ahead here. Deflected back in here by Malenstein. Into the corner it goes. On the forecheck here, it's Greenway. Arvidsson lost it. Greenway takes it away. Look at the center one. Stanley on the backhand. Couldn't get it. Stanley's fed it in behind the net. Got through two Sabres. And here come the Bruins the other way looking to counter. Arvidsson waiting. Arvidsson looking. Patient play. Try to pass out of Middlestad. A miscommunication there. And here come the Sabres. Josh Dunn will just go for a change. And the Sabres are changing right now as it's in the Bruins zone. Zadorov flips it out to center ice. Knocked down there by Power. Fed back in. Zucker on the forecheck. Delivers a check there on Zadorov. Pasternak into the middle for Zadorov. Back for Pasternak once again. David Pasternak in shot. Blocked on the way through. Geekie scores! Morgan Geekie gives the Bruins a 1-0 lead. This happens off a shot block, I believe. Pasternak takes this shot, was blocked by Dahlin, bounced to Geekie, and slapped it home. One time that one into the back end. It was a rolling puck too. And the Bruins take the lead with Morgan Geekie's 7th career playoff goal. And with 9:08 to go in the first, the Bruins strike first here in the series and have quieted this crowd down. A little bit of movement outside the circle here, and Hagens was there, and the swap of places here from the face-off dot as Tage Thompson's now in the outer circle. And so the Bruins strike first here in game one with Morgan Geekie's goal. Owen Power looks to stretch it ahead, deflected in, and off the boards, intercepted by Byram, who sends it back in deep. To see how the Bruins respond from that goal. Maybe they can build on that. How the Sabres respond, that's the more important question here, obviously. Ustadinov along the wall. Fed that into the middle. Shot! And that just missed wide. Man, could have been another goal right there. Min fed it in deep. Power got it in behind his own net. Bruins scoring first with Morgan Geekie's goal, his 7th career playoff goal, and the first goal of this series. Power delays and shoots it back in from center. Geekie backhands that one out to center ice. Pasternak gets pressured there by Samuelson, and it's flipped back in here by the Bruins. Geekie knocks it down. Geekie tried to pass that as the penalty upcoming. Delayed call, and it's coming up against the Sabres. And so the Bruins, a hooking call, I believe, on Dahlin, gives the Bruins a power play. As a delayed call was called there, let's see what the call was.
So the Bruins.
Dahlin in the box now, as we'll be back as the Bruins with a chance to try to take a 2-0 lead here on the power play. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome you back here to Buffalo. Game one of this series between the Bruins and the Sabres, and the Boston Bruins are going to go to the power play now as Referees in the game, Francis Chiron and John McIsaac, and Chris Rooney was a backup referee for this one. And the linespersons, Jesse Marquez and Andrew Smith. And so the Bruins with a chance here to add on to their lead and make it 2-0. See how the Sabres do with that. We got an update here from Tampa as Slavkovsky scored in the dying moments of the second period on a power play. It is 2-2 in Tampa right now, and we'll see if that game goes to overtime. We'll take a look at that. If maybe in our intermission report, if we do see overtime, we'll look at that, obviously, and we'll give you coverage of that, obviously, as well. As now, we're back in play here in Buffalo after the immediate timeout, and with less than 8 minutes to go here in the first period, the Bruins with an opportunity to make it a 2-0 lead and really quiet this Buffalo crowd down. As a hooking call on the best defenseman for the Buffalo Sabres in Rasmus Dahlin, who's also the captain of this team. Boston power play 9th ranked, 23.4%. Buffalo penalty kill, 4th ranked in the National Hockey League. That was back in the regular season. Already cleared down the length of the ice here by the Sabres. Swayman left it here for McAvoy. Charlie McAvoy has it. Makes the drop pass here as it's moved ahead here by Andrew Peak. Zacha the return feed for Peak. Pastrnak chipped it ahead. Zacha in behind the net. Zacha looking. Poke checked away. Tuck trying to clear it. Off a skate. He bounces to the corner for Samuelson. And it is cleared down the length of the ice. Nothing going here on this Bruins power play. McAvoy now has the puck once again here for the Bruins. Gonna drop that pass, and then he found on his initial passing attempt, and now it's moved ahead here by Zacha, carrying it into the zone. Knocked off by two Sabres. Into the corner it goes for Peak. Zacha into the opposite corner here for Pastrnak. Fed back here for McAvoy at the blue line. Return feed for Pastrnak. McAvoy a one-timer, and it's stopped by Luukkonen. Zacha back for Pastrnak. His shot blocked away by Luukkonen. McAvoy. Geeky trying to get it along the half wall. Ridden off there by Timmins. Lindholm got it free to Pastrnak. Up high, Pastrnak drops it off as Lindholm gets it back, and McAvoy couldn't settle the pass down. McAvoy in the corner, tied up with three Sabres in the corner. Greenway, Stanley, and Power. They all battle for the puck here with less than a minute to go here on the power play. Shot from the boards was stopped. Rebound, Lindholm stopped down. And Luukkonen made the stop, and here we go. Crowd here in Buffalo stands once again with 24 seconds to go on the Bruins power play. So far, the Sabres have killed off the majority of it. What a chance here by McAvoy. This is a deflection. There's kind of a sneaky shot there, and Lindholm could not just settle down that rebound, and Greenway just kind of knocked down Lindholm into the crossbar, right, face first into the crossbar. Elias Lindholm just eating the crossbar right there on that opportunity right in front of the net. Off the draw, Fraser Minton is tied up there by McLeod. Arvidsson, Fraser Minton. And now it is Lohrei passing it. Oh, and he missed the net. What an opportunity there for Arvidsson, and he missed the net. Minton got it in deep, but then it is cleared out by the Sabres down the length of the ice. That'll do it for the Bruins power play. They're 0 for 1 here in the series. They're back in, and Arvidsson circles back, angled off there along the wall. Here comes Tage Thompson now through center, splitting through. Then he got poke checked away. He can't touch it up now. Byram has it, chipped it ahead here as they move it back in on side. No. Offside at the line with 5:38 to go. We'll be back in just a moment, and we'll read your comments here in the chat. We'll be back 1-0. The Bruins leading it here in Game 1. Welcome you back here to Buffalo as the Sabres trailing by a goal here against the Boston Bruins. It was, I believe, Geeky getting that goal, his 7th career playoff goal in his career. And they lead by a goal. They had a power play just moments ago. They've had some opportunities, but they could not convert on it, obviously. And so the Sabres killing off a huge penalty they just took here in the game. And it remains a 1-0 lead here in the KeyBank Center in Buffalo, New York. First playoff game since Game 6 between the Flyers and the Sabres back in 2011. 4-4 in overtime, and then the Flyers won that game 5-4 here at KeyBank Center. That was the last game played in a playoff atmosphere, in a playoff game here at the KeyBank Center. That was 15 years ago. It is utterly insane how long ago that was. Can't win the draw here was Thompson. It was a misstart. Thompson gets kicked out of the dot, and his place is taken here by Alex Tuch. Off the draw. Battled for it. Tuch got it ahead. He fell down. And now, Bruins have the puck now. Shot back in from center. Around the boards it goes. Byram got it. Hagen's pressuring him from behind. Min trying to get it as well. Thompson into the middle. Here come the Buffalo Sabres. Shot back in by Darlene off the boards. He got it to Tuch. Tuch got tripped up and a penalty upcoming. Zadorov tripped him up. Bruins take the penalty and the Sabres will go to the power play to even this game up if they can. A tripping call. Cross-checking, actually. It looked like it was a trip at first, but no. It is a power play upcoming here for the Sabres, though. A cross-check, I would have called that a tripping. Whatever, you do get the penalties. Nikita Zadorov in the box, and you got to know the Boston Bruins have to be very careful with their penalties because they're one of the most penalized teams in the regular season this year. And they've really got to avoid that here, obviously, in the postseason because these penalties can burn them because Buffalo has a pretty good power play. Off the draw, won by Lindholm, and then played back to the point. And around the boards, Thompson. Zucker couldn't get it as well. Oh, what a crushing hit there, and it's cleared down the length of the ice. Shots are even at 6 here in the game with less than 5 minutes to go here in the first period. Buffalo on a power play, looking to tie this game up and electrify this crowd again. Darlene, the drop pass. Norris carries it ahead. Dumped in deep in behind the net. McAvoy, Norris fell down. Thompson trying to get there well. They haven't been able to set up here on this power play. Thompson fishes it free from the pile. He got it up high to Zucker. Darlene waits. Got it to Zucker. Jason Zucker looking. Shot deflected. Save made. Rebound was loose in front. Thompson played that back. Darlene! What a save, Swayman! Oh, wow. What a stop. Unbelievable. That's an unbelievable stop there by Swayman. A Darlene one-timer from the blue line right into the glove of Swayman. Wow. Elias Lindholm and Norris in the face-off dot. Norris wins another draw. Darlene at the blue line waits. Shot down low. Thompson trying to whack it out of midair, and he couldn't. Pressure from behind here by McAvoy. Around the boards, Quinn played that back here for Darlene. Return pass here for Quinn along the half wall. Thompson, shot save. Rebound, Swayman. Rebound still loose. They score! And it's waved off. And now everyone's going at it now. There's a fight breaking out here. Everyone gets together. Will there be penalties out of this? 4:06 to go. Wow. Thompson just trying to whack it in and was waved off immediately. The whole crowd stood up like it was a goal. Let's see here. Thompson was just trying to whack it in. I think the whistle was here, and then it got pushed over the line. And that's why all mayhem broke out afterwards. That's when the crowd started celebrating like it was a goal. Yeah, that puck was still loose, though. Will there be a question in that? But they did push the pad into the net, though. Thompson's arguing. They're arguing why that was waved off, and now we're going to have a conversation here. Hold on. Lindy Ruff. Wow. Faceoff will be outside the Bruins zone. I think that's why Lindy Ruff's mad here, because I don't know why they would put this faceoff outside. Maybe because of the scrum, and not the scrum, a little bit of a entanglement after the whistle was blown on that chance. Maybe that's why, I'm not sure. 50 seconds to go on this power play, though. That's what remains of it, with 4 minutes to go here in the first period. Sabres are going to tie the game here with a 8-7 advantage in the shot. Advantage on goal. And it's a drop pass here by Doan. Got it to McLeod. McLeod with some speed. McLeod cutting in. McLeod! Save made. Swayman again! Man, is Swayman keeping the Bruins into this first period. Man, he has come up with some big saves here. The Sabres are just charging the Boston Bruins right now. Because I think Hampus Lindholm lost his footing, and McLeod had all that room, and I think it might have lifted his stick at the last second. Wow. 81% of our votes go to the Sabres in winning this game 1. 32 votes. Continue to vote, everybody, and share the stream around. 5-1 the rush chances in favor of the Sabres here in the game. Half a minute to go on this power play for the Sabres as Byram has it up high. Byram got it back here to McLeod. Down low it goes. Return feed for McLeod. Back up top for Byram. Bowen Byram got it back. Bowen Byram shot deflected. Save made. Benson got tied up. Held in the zone though by Doan. McLeod waits. McLeod shot. Save. Rebound was still loose in front of the net. And Corrali around the boards it goes. And the Bruins will kill off the penalty. Held in the zone, though, by the Sabres. Tuck, pass it across the Doan. Doan holds it in. Tried to maneuver a move there at the blue line. Cleared out to center. They re-enter once again. Byram into the middle. Knocked down in front. Benson was stopped as it rolled towards Swayman with 3 minutes to go here in the first period. 12-7. The shots favoring the Sabres now. What a chance. What a pad save there by Swayman. There was a lot of traffic there as McLeod had taken that shot. It actually deflected off of Aspero's stick and slowed down the shot. 13 for 13 already, Swayman, in this first period. I remember we covered a game against Detroit with these Bruins, and Swayman delivering in a big way there and stopping everything, it seemed like, in that third period. Seems like that kind of performance once again, but in a very important game, game 1 of the playoffs in the first round. Off the draw. Played back. Samuelson holds it at the blue line with less than 3 to go in the first period. But it is cleared out by the Bruins, and they'll move it ahead. Hampus Lindholm shoots it back in, wide of Luukkonen. Dahlin plays it around the boards. Almost held in by Lohrei. It bounced over his stick. Deflected back into the middle, and Samuelson has it once again. Partial change here for the Sabres as Samuelson returns it back here to Dahlin. The captain of the Sabres as the top line's out there for Buffalo. As it's backhanded back in. Offside for the Sabres. Sometimes that blue line is just covered well here by the Bruins to prevent these entries here by the Sabres crisply here. 2:24 to go away from our intermission report. We'll give you an update on Montreal-Tampa. From what I last saw of it, it was a 3-2 lead for Montreal. So that game's had a lot of lead changes. Montreal scored first. Tampa scored 2 quick goals to get the lead back, or to get the lead, and then Montreal with 2 goals on the power play to get their lead back in the game. Fraser Min along the wall. Pressured along the wall there by Byram. Hustadinov shot out the crossbar. A short side shot that almost went in. Aspero's shot deflected. Save made there by Luukkonen. Into the middle. Thompson got it away there. And it's Byram giving that back here for Thompson. They're back in on side. Tuck along the half wall. Tuck fed it into the middle. Here's Power. One-timer! Save made as Timmins was stopped. The Sabres with 14 shots here in the first period, and it looks like it's not slowing down at all. They've had a great offensive first period, but they're down by 1. Bruins have only 8 shots. Zadorov will move it ahead. Tazaka carrying it back in, shooting it back in from the blue line. Luukkonen played it in behind the net, and it's moved ahead here by McLeod, who carries it ahead. McLeod left it, returned pass here from McLeod. He waits along the wall, forced back from the blue line, and sends it in deeper. Wraparound attempt! So it's stopped on the way through, and there's a penalty upcoming. It's a hooking call, and I think it's going against the Sabres. As Zucker's going to the box.
Buffalo penalty number 17. Against Rookie.
A roughing call. Or hooking. And so the Sabres take another penalty here in the first period. As Quinn was trying to wrap it around there. And this is just the previous chance. They deflected off a Tuck stick. And Hustadinov hitting the crossbar. Wow. What an opportunity there. Morgan Geeky's shot was 64.1 mile per hour shot. That wasn't even that much. And I think the changeup fooled Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen there. And so the Bruins, with their second power play opportunity, are 0 for 1 with 3 shots on it. Samuelsson clears it immediately. No, McAvoy held it in. McAvoy passed that back here for Pastrnak, deflected wide. Luukkonen bounced back in front. Shot save made Luukkonen. Tuck was trying to clear it, and he missed the puck completely. And it almost went in. 50 seconds to go here in the first period. Bruins trying to score here to get a 2-0 lead going into the locker room. Zacha, peek back in. Try to shoot it in deep, and he could not, and it's cleared down the length of the ice. Swayman plays it in behind his own net, left it out there for a platter by McAvoy. Charlie McAvoy carries it through center. Drop pass here, shot back in. 20 seconds to go here. Geeky along the boards, lost it. Fraser Min got it free. Pastrnak has it. Pastrnak shot, and it missed wide. Might have glanced off a body there as Fraser Min got it along the half wall. Min waits, past it, open net, and a score! No, it did not! It went wide! Somehow, Geeky couldn't score into the open net. And the Buffalo Sabres get a break there. Oh, wow. An open net by Geeky. He had to reorganize it there. And it goes to the 5-hole, but does not go into the net. And Geeky's probably frustrated by that. An opportunity that might haunt him in this game if the Sabres come back. But right now, the Bruins with a 1-0 lead. We'll be back in just a moment with our intermission report coming up next here on the NHL and MHS coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Welcome you back, everybody. As right now in Tampa, it is 3-3 with 6 minutes to go in the third period. And that might be our first overtime game of these playoffs, as I believe Hagel, with his second goal of the game, has tied it on a power play for Tampa special teams. Clearly a factor here in this game, and maybe for the rest of the series that's going to be a big factor in that one. It's 3-3 in Tampa. We'll give you an update on that. We just went to commercial with 6 minutes left to go here in the third period, and we'll see, obviously. And let's go over what happened in that first period here in Buffalo. Yeah, as while we're at it, and then we'll try to bring in our other analyst here in just a moment. Let's see. Let's see if we can get this pulled up here. Here we go. 1-0. Bruins lead. They'll have 50 seconds to go on their power play. The shots were 14-9 in favor of the Buffalo Sabres. They had a good first period, but this is a unlucky shot here for the Buffalo Sabres. A great play, though, by Pastrnak, just shooting that. Darlene blocked it, but bounced right in front. I think it might have went off McLeod's skate and might have made it dribble, because it was a bouncing puck and it was dribbling. And then Geeky just fires it home, cranks it up, and puts a one-timer home. And wow, what a shot by Geeky. It was not even that much velocity on the shot, but hey, it's a goal in a playoff game. That's big. These are the stats after the first period. 14-9. The Sabres not so good in the face-off dot. At least they're almost pretty even. Sabres have lost 2 more face-offs than the Bruins. Both teams over 1 on the power play. This is a power play that's still going on into the second period. Look at the hits right now. 23-13, a very physical first period. 36 hits combined in that first period. 6-2 the blocked shots. Giveaways 4-3. Takeaways were even at 1. Been a very good pace of this game. And obviously, we're going to give you an update what's happening here in Tampa. 3 minutes to go in that one, and see what's going to happen here in Tampa Bay. The Lightning and the Montreal Canadiens. 3-3 in the third period. As let's see here, it's point in the face-off dot for the Lightning. The face-offs in the Lightning zone right now, and face-off won by Montreal. Hudson has it at the blue line. His shot deflected wide of the net. Gonsalves. And it deflects, and there's a whistle here. And no, there's not a whistle. It looked like it did. Texier tried to play that into the corner. Gonsalves kind of tripped up Demidov for just a moment. Radish now tries to shoot it down the lane to the ice. Instead, it's Kucherov moving it ahead here. Point has it. Point was trying to get the pass at least. Gonsalves in the corner. Gonsalves has it. He plays that back, or tried to at least. Kucherov, and a save made with 5:28 left to go in the third period. 3-3, Montreal and Tampa. We're giving you bonus coverage of that right now as we await in our first intermission. And if we go to another commercial break in that, then that we'll have to do. And, I mean, first period was pretty good pace here in Tampa Bay. Sorry, everybody. Dobish in net for the Montreal Canadiens. Sofkovsky scored to tie the game. I'm not sure who gave Montreal the lead, but it's been going back and forth all game, it seems like, between these two teams. As it is stuck along the boards here with 5 minutes to go in the third period here in Tampa Bay. Gergensons pressured Matheson, flipped down into the air, and knocked down here by Montreal. They flip it back in. Anderson. Then Corey Perry. Or Mosier, pardon me. I keep thinking Perry's wearing 90s still. I don't have the sheets for that one. I got my sheet for this game. So we're just doing bonus coverage here. So just let me know what your thoughts are of these playoffs so far. If anyone's in the chat right now, go ahead. List your thoughts, and then if you have any questions like who do you think is going to go far or something like that, just let me know in the chat. Just let's talk here while we're at it in our intermission report. That's what the point of the intermission reports is, to have a little bit of a break between these periods. So if you have any questions or just want to chat, let me know. You're in the live chat right now. And in behind the net, it is with less than 5 minutes to go here in the third period. Savkovsky lost it on the back check there, and it's Paul losing that back to Savkovsky. As Gord almost turned it over. Cleared out of the zone by Tampa. 4.5 to go in the third period. Slavkovsky tried to feed it into the middle, and he could not. Slavkovsky gets it once again. Gooley plays that back here for Hudson. He circles back into his own zone. Bonus coverage here if you're just tuning in with us. Buffalo and Boston is in intermission. But bonus coverage, I'll be commentating a little bit of this as it is Doc in the corner. Doc feeds that back up high for Matheson through traffic. A shot and a save made by Vasilevsky. Less than 4 to go. Race for the puck here. Knocked down Hagel for the hat trick, and the shot was blocked on the way through. Looking for the game winner as well. Knocked down, offside with 3:42 to go in the third. Montreal caught offside on that one. And we'll be back in just a moment as it goes to commercial. 3:42 to go in that third period for the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Montreal Canadiens, and we'll be back here on our intermission report in just a moment. We welcome you back here to our coverage between the Buffalo Sabres and the Boston Bruins. But right now we are giving you bonus coverage in what is happening in Tampa Bay. 3:15 left to go in their third period right now. We're 6.5 minutes from our Bruins Sabres game resuming with 50 seconds to go on the power play for the Boston Bruins, pardon me. And so with 3 minutes left to go here in Tampa, here come the Lightning shooting it around the boards. Gensel's out here on the ice here. Hagel's also out there. He's had 2 goals in the game, trying to make it a hat trick and get the game winner here in game 1. And this could potentially be our first game that goes into overtime in the Stanley Cup playoffs. As Mosier plays that back here for Radish. Radish shoots it back in over Dobish's glove on the dump-in attempt. Gergensen's on the boards. Gord got it back up top. Radish from the near board shot. Wide of the net of Dobish. Played back here for Mosier. Tried to shoot it in deep. It got deflected into the bench with 2:24 left to go in the third period in Tampa. That one may be going to overtime. In our game, let's see if they updated the stats a little bit here. Nope, they still remain the same. We have 36 combined hits in our first period in Buffalo. A very physical first period. And very good one. Monday's going to have some good slate of games. Pittsburgh trying to respond from that Game 1 loss against the Flyers. Porter Martone with a game winner. Stars really need to get something going in Game 2 because they got dominated 6-1. I'm a Stars fan, so we gotta hope. 2:15 left to go in the third period for the Montreal Tampa. This is bonus coverage, by the way. We will not give you, if we can, if the overtime. We'll see. And obviously, we're going to be in our second period when potentially this overtime could happen. Danault shoots it back in from center with 2 minutes to go in the third period. It was Paul trying to send it in deep. Struble has the puck back here for Montreal. We're 5 minutes away from our intermission ending here with the Buffalo Sabres and the Bruins game that we are covering here on the NHL and MHS. Don't go anywhere. Intermission report right now. Bonus coverage, Tampa Bay and the Montreal Canadiens. Game 1 of their series. Almost, maybe going into overtime. There's 1:35 remaining in their third period. 3-3 tied. 20-17, the shots favoring the Tampa Bay Lightning. McDonough around the boards. Chernak lost to Slavkovsky for just a moment. Gensel, and then it's Jack-Eye passing that across the ice. Caulfield trying to get there first. No, he could not. Gensel, and here come the Lightning the other way with some room. Here's Hagel. Hagel looking for the game winner. Hagel looks to center one. It's loose, and it's covered by Dobish with 1:09 left to go in the third period. A little bit of a scuffle after the whistle. Could potentially be our first game that goes into overtime here in this series. And bonus coverage here, obviously, of the Tampa, Montreal. And our game, obviously, between the Sabres and the Bruins is about to resume here in just a moment. When this third period ends, we'll enter our intermission report. We'll give you one last run-through and my thoughts of that first period and what we can expect for the second period. Boston really needs to convert on that power play. They really could use the 2-0 lead. They could really quiet that crowd down in Buffalo because they are electric right now. A very good offensive period for the Sabres. They got to continue the push offensively here. But man, they just could not buy anything past Swayman, who is making a real difference for them and the Bruins in this game. Off the draw, 1 here, 1 minute left to go. Kucherov fires that wide in the last minute. Paul on the backhand, now going into the forehand. Pass that back. Kucherov loose in front. And Danault. Oh, that could have been close right there. Matheson now will carry it ahead. Shoots it back in. Bonus coverage, obviously. Tampa and Montreal. And then we'll give you back to the Bruins-Buffalo game. That deflects out of play with 40.1 to go in the third period of this game that could potentially go into overtime. 1-0 the Bruins leading our game that we are covering here tonight. 41 votes in our poll. 78% of them have the Sabres winning them. We'll see about that. And the Bruins with 22%. Man, there's no Bruins fans in our chat or on our poll. Man, that is brutal. Oh, man. 42.7. They had some time back to the clock because there was a little bit of a late whistle there. Cirelli and Newhook in the face-off dot. Newhook only 1 for 6 in the draws. Newhook and Cirelli in the draw. Newhook could not win that draw. Cirelli cleared. Hagel moves it ahead. Hagel looking for the game winner. Shot wide of the net. Now comes back Chernak in behind the net now for Hagel. Got past him. Cirelli plays that back up top of the point. McDonough's shot was blocked on the way through. Loose puck in front. 25 to go in the period. Newhook will move it ahead with 20 seconds to go in the third. A penalty upcoming against Tampa. A high sticking call with 20.5 seconds to go. Oh, wow. This could be real bad as Montreal has already had 2 power play goals in the game. Both by Slavkovsky looking for the hat trick. Wow. And Gensel goes to the box. Our third period just coming up in just a moment. The bonus coverage here, this Tampa game. Oh, man. I think we're coming back, though, to our game. As we're going to send it back to our scoreboard. Something to look at on that one. That might be it for the Tampa Bay Lightning. We'll see. Slavkovsky already scoring 2 power play goals in the game for them. Oh boy, this could be the chance to win it right here, or else we have a power play going into overtime for the Montreal Canadiens. Gensel for high sticking. Second period about to start in our game. 13 to go, just killing off the time is a smart play there. 8 seconds to go in the period. Here is Caulfield carrying it back in. Caulfield looking for the game winner. Shot blocked. And this one's going to overtime. Tampa and Montreal. We'll give you updates of that as we welcome you back here for the second period here in Buffalo. 1-0. The Sabres leading it. We have our first overtime game. Montreal-Tampa. And there's going to be intermission for that. So our first overtime game of these Stanley Cup playoffs only took 4 games. Or 5 games, actually. Because that's the 5th game of the Stanley Cup playoffs. This is the 6th game of the Stanley Cup playoffs. 1-0. The Bruins leading it. As welcome you back, everybody. I'm Max. Glad you can be with us here on our coverage on the NHL and MHS's coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs. 1-0. The Bruins leading it over the Buffalo Sabres. Geeky getting the goal in the first period. Assisted by Pasternak. And that was a primary assist. And so 50 seconds remain on this Bruins power play. Geeky's 7th career playoff goal in that first period. Geeky's out there again on this power play. Scoring chances in that period. 7-7 even. Crowd is standing here. They have updated the hits. 37 hits already in the game. Crowd is waving those rally towels as we're about to be underway here in the second period. McLeod and Zacha in the draw at center ice. We're underway here in the second period. Less than 50 to go on the power play for the Bruins. McAvoy has the puck. He'll drop it off here for Pasternak. Another drop pass. Moved ahead here, Zacha. Off the boards, Pasternak turned over almost to McLeod, but held in the line though. Elias Lindholm looking. Fed it low to the goal line, Pasternak. Tuck trying to outmuscle Zacha. Could not. As there's a penalty upcoming on Zacha. As I believe he just interfered with Tuck there. And we're going to have 4-on-4 for 24 seconds.
Boston penalty, number 18. 2-man minor for holding.
A holding call on Zacha, 4-on-4, and then the power play for the Sabres. Yeah, Zacha had way too much of Tuck right there. So, Bruins could not convert on their power play, and then the Buffalo Sabres are going to get a power play out of this for second opportunity of the game. But not a full one, obviously, because 23 seconds are going to be 4-on-4. Then 1:37 of power play time for the Sabres once the 4-on-4 ends. 14-9, the shots favoring the Sabres. If you're just joining us, second period just underway here. Boston just took a penalty for holding. It was Zacha on Alex Tuck. So we got 4-on-4 here for 20 seconds. And now race for the puck. Casey Middlestad getting there first. Casey Middlestad waits. 1-on-3. Forced off the boards there by Power. A battle for the puck here ensues. And Byram will get it in behind his own net with less than 10 to go on the 4-on-4. 4-on-4 expiring. And now the Sabres with the power play. As we're back to a 5-on-4 advantage here for the Sabres. Looking to tie the game here. They're 0 for 1. They had 6 shots on their first power play. They look to tie the game here. Norris tried to split through. Couldn't. Deflected off the glass. Held in the zone, though, by Dahlin as he gloved it down. Norris waits, patiently waiting. He feeds it back here for Dahlin at the point. Return feed here for Norris. Norris down low. Thompson through the legs pass. Couldn't get it to him. Dahlin, the shot! And a save made Swayman as he barely got a piece of it. Could not be held on the line, though, by Norris, and Dahlin retrieves it back. Drop pass out of sync there. And it's Josh Norris once again with 50 to go on the power play. Turned it over. Here's Corrali, sure-handed! And a save made Luukkonen. A miscue there by the Buffalo Sabres on their own power play. Here's Quinn cutting in. Poke checked away, and it's covered up by Swayman. Wow. Good job penalty killing here for the Boston Bruins. Norris, I don't know what he was trying to do, and he just gave it away to Corrali, who had the shorthanded bid. Luukkonen with the glove save there. Way out challenging for that puck at the top of his crease. 35 to go on the power play for the Sabres. Another face-off win here for the Bruins, and Peak around the boards. Clears it to the line, not out. What a hold in by Doan. Doan holds it in once again. He passes it across for Byram. Byram delays. He feeds it down low. McLeod in the corner. Feed that back here. Doan. McLeod along the half wall. McLeod waits, fires, and a save made. And it deflects out of play. Man, what an opportunity here. I believe this hits... No, it actually hits the stick of Zadorov and deflects it out of play. I thought it may have been a stop, but the puck actually deflected off the stick of Nikita Zadorov there. 1-0 Bruins. 13 seconds to go on the power play for the Sabres. Another face-off win here for the Bruins, and Peak once again will clear it down the length of the ice, and that'll do it for this Sabres power play. They're 0 for 2 in the game. Both teams are 0 for 2 in the game on their respective power plays. Dahlin. So far, the penalty kills for both teams have been pretty good, but their power plays haven't been so good as well. Thompson in the corner. Looks to center one. It bounced off a body in front of Nikita Zadorov. Just throwing it towards the net and trying to get lucky there. Could not. Dahlin chips it in. Zadorov to Peak. Turned it over. Here's a turnover here. Looking to center one. Instead, it goes back to the point for Byram. Byram shot. Blocked on the way through. Byram holds it in once again. Byram delays. He got it to Tuck off his skate. Skate to stick there. Byram waits. Byram has some room. He fires a shot and it was stopped. Thompson tried to whack at it and he couldn't. Byram, as the Sabres are moving around here in the offensive zone. Tuck waits. Tuck lost it off a poke check there by Zadorov. It is cleared out to center. Byram has it at his own blue line and will move it ahead. Norris tried to fire it in deep and he could not. It was intercepted by Arvidsson, now fired back in deep again by Dahlin. Around the boards it goes. Dawn holding it at the line, and Benson couldn't find that puck, and Zaka chips it in. In behind the net, and Norris got it out to center ice. Nice move here by Doan. Doan still has it. Played it back, shot, save, rebound was loose. Clear to the blue line and out to center. Geeky sends a man open. Pasternak on a breakaway. Pasternak, backhand, couldn't put it home. Benson gets it out to center. Norris met there. Cross the ice here for Samuelson. Samuelson crossed the ice. Couldn't go for Norris. Benson in behind the net. Lost it to Lori, and Geeky will move it ahead. Geeky through center. Drops it off. Elias Lindholm into the middle. Shot. Hampus Lindholm missed it wide. Oh, man. Done. And now it is a chance here for Malenstein. It's offside. 4.5 in to the second period here in Buffalo, and we've had some opportunities here. Pasternak tried to make the move and the poke check, I believe, by Luukkonen, and I think Pasternak just ran out of the room. He was trying to go backhand. By the time he got that puck, he was way too close to Luukkonen. And I think he got the poke check there, and he did. Put the stick on the ground and worked out for him there, unless or else that could have been something there. In his career, 19 goals, 32 assists, 51 points against the Sabres in 42 games for David Pasternak. McLeod and Min in the face-off dot outside the Bruins blue line. Face-off won here by Mitten, and the Bruins have possession. Fed back in deep, intercepted. Stanley will move it ahead. Onside with it, cross the ice, Zucker. Intercepted there by Min from the blue line. Power drives one on goal, and it's stopped. From the blue line, the shots are 18-10 in favor of the Buffalo Sabres right now in the hockey game. Welcome you in if you're just tuning in with us here on the NHL and MHS coverage of the Stanley Cup playoffs. 1-0, the Bruins leading it over the Buffalo Sabres on this Sunday night. Min and McLeod on the glove side of Swayman in the face-off dot. Give you updates of Tampa, Montreal. They're going to go to overtime. The first overtime game of the Stanley Cup playoffs happening tonight as well. Hagens replaces a man in the face-off dot for the Bruins. McLeod and Hagens. McLeod won the draw in the offensive zone. Samuelsson from the blue line fires a shot that deflects wide of the net. Held in the zone, though, by McLeod. Along the boards, Quinn. Fed back up top, some room. Dahlin deflected. Quinn rebounds loose. It's still loose, and it's covered up by Swayman. Somehow, he makes the stop. The Buffalo Sabres have thrown everything towards Swayman, but they cannot buy a goal. And there's still more than half a game to go. What a stop on Jack Quinn. Jeremy Swayman holding the line. Wow. Jeremy Swayman is having a heck of a game one right now. One nothing. The Bruins still leading it off the goal by Geekie. Back in the first period. Off the draw. Won by the Sabres, and Dahlin along the half wall, played it back. Thompson shot, save made. Rebound still loose in front of this, covered up by Swayman. As it rolled back into the crease. And Tuck in a stare down with Andrew Peak in front of Swayman's crease. The shot by Thompson from the blue line, I believe, deflected off the stick of Tuck. A lot of shots here by the Buffalo Sabres. They're almost approaching 20. Off to the blue line. Dahlin's shot blocked on the way through. It was a one-time rip there. And Corrali trying to get it away from Dahlin. Poked into the middle. Just shot went wide of the net. Janot. Thompson leaves it for Tuck. He circles back and plays it across the ice here for Dahlin, who has some room. Dahlin fed it in behind the net now. Thompson in the corner. He feeds that back, or tried to the point. Tuck gets it in the corner. Tuck trying to play that back to the point for Samuelsson, and he could not. It was knocked down. Janot forced it back in. Tage Thompson has the puck, looks to stretch it ahead here. Here's Benson back in on side. Benson, the drop pass here for Tuck, leaves it into the middle. Here's a shot by Byram, and it missed wide and deflected off the crossbar, I think, and out of play. Or might have got a piece of Swayman or a stick. The Buffalo Sabres are moving the puck very well here in this second period. They've moved the puck well throughout the whole game. A nice stick there by Zacha to deflect that puck out of play. Josh Norris trying to win the draw, could not. He lost to Zacha. Poked back into the Buffalo corner as they look to have the puck, but they turn it over to Middlestad along the wall. He feeds that back to the point for Lohrei. His shot deflected into the corner. Doan trying to clear it. Goes across the ice here for Power. Power in his own zone. Plays that back here for Byram. Byram got it to Power. Fired back in from the red line. Hampus Lindholm along the wall. Lohrei trying to clear it around the boards. He did. He got it to Arvidsson. Going across the ice. That pass was intended there for Middlestad. Instead is intercepted there by Byram. Byram in behind his own net. Now between the circles as Buffalo's and Boston are going for changes right now and trying to get some fresh legs on the ice. Byram, the stretch ahead, as it's in the zone now. Dunn in the corner, in behind the net now. It is Malenstein trying to get it free. A battle in behind the net. More than 7 minutes into the second period. Knocked down there was one of the Sabres. Shot blocked on the way through. Timmins trying to hold it in. Pasternak forced it out. And it's Greenway now off the boards. Chipped back in here by Malenstein. Peak off the backboards, trying to clear it around the boards. Could not. Timmins along the wall. Timmins in behind the net. Connor Timmins in the corner. Pressured by Peak. Around it goes. Pasternak deflects that. Almost got it out of the zone. It's stuck in that corner still. It is played back here by Greenway. Shot deflected. It was blocked on the way through. Lori. It is cleared out to center. Pasternak leaves it. Elias Lindholm trying to backhand that one back in. It was blocked away, and Zucker will force it into the corner. Zucker in behind the net, trying to steal it away. McLeod, Zucker in behind. Quinn in the corner. Got some room now along the half wall. Shot blocked on the way through by Lori. Mason Lori splits through and shoots it back in from the red line. Off the backboards, Luukkonen played it. And Dahlin trying to clear it. He does. Forced back in by the Bruins, though. Luukkonen, Samuelson. The Bruins have basically held on for dear life because of Swayman. He has made some big saves here in the second period, and throughout this whole game, he's made some consistent big saves here in this one. 18-10, the shots favoring the Buffalo Sabres, but they're trailing by a goal. The only goal in the game was by Geekie back in the first period. Dahlin has it. The captain of the Sabres. Tuck, the drop pass here for Thompson, who carries it ahead. Thompson along the wall. Around it goes here to the opposite side here. Krebs trying to get it free. Aspero gets checked there, held at the line there by Byram. Thompson forced off. Buffalo trying to hold it in. Thompson forced it in deeper. Krebs trying to get there first. McAvoy pressuring him from behind. And Hustadinov trying to clear it. Held in again by Thompson. Around it goes. Krebs fed it for Tuck in the corner. Centering pass for Thompson. His shot was blocked, and Byram could not hold it in. But will it be an icing? No, it will not. And I think it deflected. And the crowd here does not like that. Stretch pass here. Here comes Krebs cutting to the net. Is a man open? Pass across. Couldn't go. What a stop by Swayman. And here we go. Wow, what a stop. Swayman is keeping the Bruins in the game. 10:24 to go. We'll give you an update if overtime started in Tampa. Looking you back here to Buffalo as the Sabres down by a goal. And right now in overtime in Tampa, Montreal just barely started. They're still on their power play here. And we're back underway in our game. We'll keep a lookout for that one, obviously, in Tampa Bay. See if Montreal can win it in overtime and take game one on that power play that only has, I believe, 20 seconds or so left on it. Bruins with a 1-0 lead, and Swayman has been a big factor in why they have kept that 1-0 lead, because man, oh man, he has made some big stops here. This one, I believe, oh, that shot was even on goal. It was on goal, but it slowed down. Norris actually fanned on it, or else Norris probably ties the game there. 10:24 to go in the second period. Off the draw, Norris trying to win it free. He does. Doan along the wall. Benson trying to poke at it. 20-10, an intercept almost along the wall there. In behind the net now. Benson looking. Benson patiently waiting on the backhand. He feeds that back. One-time shot by Samuelsson was blocked out the center. Race for the puck here, and Middlestad trying to get it. Could not. Cleared ahead. Doan trying to get there. He does. Doan looking. He missed the puck, though. And now in behind the net. Some confusion there, and Zacha forced off. Benson got high-sticked. No penalty. Wow. The crowd here enraged by that. Pasternak, what a save! Luukkonen robs David Pasternak of the 2-0 lead for the Bruins. 2 stops. Everyone was outraged for the missed call, and Pasternak, again on another breakaway, can't score. Stopped with the glove and stopped another time with the pad. 9:41 to go in the second period. 21 to probably 12 now, because Pasternak did get a shot or two on goal there. Wow, what a stop by Luukkonen. Has not faced much Bruin shots here. 3 shots in the game for David Pasternak. Not scored on one of them. And both of those chances probably have been on breakaways. Off the draw, won by Lindholm. Lohrei shot, deflected up into the air. In behind the net, Pasternak. No one knew where that puck was. McLeod will move it ahead now. Chipped it in deep. McLeod gets to it. Centering pass, Zucker. Save made at the goal line by Swayman. We have had so many chances here in the second period in this game. That just bounced on goal, and Zucker was just trying to whack at it. That deflected off a geeky skate. Wow. And a little bit of a chat going between Geeky and Zucker after the whistle. Swayman again coming up big on that one. 21-21 right now for Jeremy Swayman. Tage Thompson in the faceoff dot. Trying to win the draw off the tie-up. Won instead by Corrali. Aspero trying to clear it off the glass. It is out to center. Chipped back in by Jeannot, or tried to, was blocked away. Scoring chances even at 11 here in the game. Thompson has the puck now. Approaching 9 minutes to go here in the second period. Around it goes off the glass. McAvoy almost lost it to Tuck. Tuck trying to steal it back. Kaslik fed that back here for McAvoy. Banked it off the backboards to Aspero, and it's cleared out to center. And that one will be an icing here on the Bruins with 8:50 to go. Second period, 21-12. The shots favoring the Sabres here in the hockey game. But right now, Bruins with the 1-0 lead. And see if I can give you an update in what's happening in Tampa. I'm not sure what is happening in Tampa. We'll try to get you an update on that soon. Don't know if that overtime's still going or not. Oh, Benson fell down there. Awkwardly. With McAvoy in the circle. 8:50 to go in the second period. 1-0. The Bruins leading it here in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals between the Buffalo Sabres and the Bruins. Delay here on the draw. Fans getting restless here. Fed back to the point. Samuelsson, Dahlin. Dahlin waits. Dahlin driving the net. In behind the net now. Dahlin waits. Tried to pass it to Samuelsson. And he got blocked away back into the Buffalo zone. Samuelsson the stretch ahead here. Backing onside is Doan. Forced off at the line. And cleared back out to center. Game 2 of this series will be on Tuesday. Dahlin shoots it back in from center. Around it goes on the horseshoe. Norris lost it, and Geeky will go the other way. Geeky the only goal scorer here in the hockey game. Pasternak forced off the wall, but still has the puck. Pasternak in behind. Gets it in the corner again. Trying to feed that to the point. Got intercepted there by Doan. A 2-on-3. It's dumped back in by Doan. 8 minutes to go in the second period. 21-12, the shots favoring the Buffalo Sabres in the game. Lohrei shooting it back in from center. Around it goes. Stanley clears it out to center ice to Lohrei once again. Trying to move it ahead. It was chipped back in here by Elias Lindholm. They can't touch back because there would have been an offside there, and then they got to touch back at the line. Timmins will move it ahead. Here's Josh Dunn, the shot and a save made with 7:34 to go. And again, everyone getting together in front of the Boston net. We will be back. 7:34 to go in game one in this second period. 1-0, the Bruins leading it. Bringing you back here to Buffalo, and we just got an update on what happened in Tampa. Slavkovsky gets to the hat trick as he wins it in overtime early on that power play that the Montreal Canadiens drew late in that third period, and they take a 1-0 series lead against the Tampa Bay Lightning, stealing game one in overtime. Off the draw. Thompson along the half wall. In our game, it's still 1-0. Thompson trying to battle through. Fed it. There's a penalty upcoming to the Boston Bruins. Here's Byram waiting. Got it to Tuck. Delayed call. Shots blocked away there by Swayman. And the penalty will be called. 7:18 to go. Buffalo on another power play. Here we go.
Tage
Thompson, I believe, was
Number 26, minor penalty for holding.
holding. And so, the chance again for the Sabres to try to get something on their power play. And Andrew Peak in the box for holding, and a chance to tie this game. Let's see. 7:18 to go, second period. They're doubling up on the shots on the Sabres right now, the Buffalo Sabres. And Tage Thompson's out there. Imagine a Tage Thompson one-timer to get the goalless drought off because they ended their playoff drought. Bounced into the middle. It was someone there. 0 for 2 on the power play. The Buffalo Sabres, 7 to 8 shots on their power plays. Dahlin. A fourth of their shots are basically on the power play. Quinn will carry it ahead. Quinn gets it in the corner. And then he lost it. Lindholm. Norris will get it along the half wall. And Elias Lindholm trying to force it out. Thompson held it in. And Lindholm clears it. 6:40 to go in the second period. Dahlin has it in behind his own net. Dahlin got it to Norris. He'll carry it ahead. Norris crossing the blue line. Trying to pass that, couldn't. Boston doing a very excellent job here on this penalty kill right now. They have been it all night on the penalty kill so far. And already halfway through the power play. Dahlin, the drop pass. Quinn fires it back in from the blue line. Around it goes Zucker. They're trying to get there. Zadorov angled him off. Zucker trying to feed it back to the point. Couldn't. Kaslik forces it out to center and back into the Buffalo zone. This might be the worst Buffalo power play we've seen tonight. Dahlin has the puck now as he carries it ahead. Passes across ice here as he'll carry it back in on side. Doan giving that back here for Benson. Lost the handle. Doan trying to fish it free in the corner. And it bounces in behind the net now for Tuck. Alex Tuck feeds that back to the point. Byram delays at the blue line. Tuck trying to go across the ice. That deflected off a stick. It hit the glass. Min, and it's cleared out again by the Boston Bruins. Nothing on that power play basically here for the Buffalo Sabres. They're 0 for 3, and that was their worst power play of the game. Tuck, no shots on that power play. Back in on side is Benson. Passing that down low for McLeod. Return feed! And that could not go. Geekie fires it back in from the red line. Luukkonen leaves it there for Byram. He got it to Connor Timmins. That hit off a skate. Byram retrieves it back. Played back here for Timmins, and now Greenway through the middle. Greenway carries it back in. He'll drop it off here for Mallenstein along the wall. On the backhand, got it to Greenway to the opposite side. Greenway along the half wall. In behind the net now for Mallenstein. Wrap around to the top of the crease. Greenway looking. Greenway shot. Save made by Swayman with the glove with 4.5 to go here in the second period. We'll be back. 4.5 to go. Still a 1-0 Boston lead. Welcome you back here to Buffalo. 4.5 to go in the second period. And we got a Let's Go Buffalo for Francisco. Oh, bueno. And with 4.5 to go, second period, Buffalo has had some opportunities. They've had a lot of opportunities, but Swayman has been spectacular in net right now. Share the stream around, everybody. Been a tense one here in Buffalo. We've only had one goal, but we've had a bunch of opportunities, and Swayman's stellar in net for the Bruins so far. Here in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals, the Stanley Cup playoffs, the best thing ever to exist in the sports world. And Juraj Slavkovsky with the hat trick in Tampa, and Montreal has a 1-0 series lead against the Tampa Bay Lightning, taking one on the road already. So the road team so far having some success right now in these Stanley Cup playoffs, taking the game ones. And right now, if the Boston Bruins continue to hold on to this lead, they'll be on that list as well. Because right now, the home ice advantage has not really been an advantage for these game ones that have been hosted for the home teams. Here's Pasternak one-on-one. Pasternak tried to make a move, blocked away. Dahlin will carry it ahead. Don't file down. Dahlin backhands it in. Aspero ridden off there by Norris. Geekie tried to clear it. And then McAvoy got ahead, and it's cleared out by Elias Lindholm with less than 4 minutes to go here in the second period. 24-12, the shots favoring the Buffalo Sabres. Darlene off the boards. Here's Thompson. Thompson waits. Drag move, a shot, save made. Arvidsson will carry it ahead now. That's a 25th shot here for the Sabres. Arvidsson drops it off. Middlestad around the boards it goes. Power in behind his own net. Boston hasn't had a shot here in a while in this game and in this period. In behind the net, Thompson trying to dig it free. Alex Tuck in the corner. And it's not cleared out yet. Zadorov held it in. Down low it goes. Trying to center one in front. Zacha whacked at it. Zacha one-timer and went wide. Peak. Middlestad. Arvidsson now. Looks to center one for Zacha. It bounced around. It goes into the corner. Zacha now waits. Zacha looking. Looks to center. A cutting Arvidsson. Trying to go back door. And here's Krebs the other way. Penn Krebs carries it in. Krebs passed it. Tuck. The return pass couldn't go. Here's Owen Power. In his own zone, looks to carry it ahead. Back in on his side is McLeod. Zucker. Around it goes. Zadorov deflected into the corner. Quinn. Peak will get it now. Stanley trying to hold it at the line. Instead, it's not. It's a 2-on-2 the other way. Fraser Min carries it in. Min fans on the shot. And now Zucker. The drop pass intended there for McLeod. Instead, it's intercepted there by Janot and almost stolen away there by Krebs. Here come the Buffalo Sabres trying to defend this rush here by Hustadinov. And it's Stanley trying to clear it along the wall. Stanley gets it once again as Hagen's turned it over. Cleared out to center ice. Poke checked away. And the Sabres deflected back in. That hit the weird part of the glass, so there's going to be, it's counted as out of play with 1:51 left to go in the second period. We'll have our intermission report and break down the Tampa game. And what a performance by Juraj Slafkovsky and Montreal taking a 1-0 series lead in their series. Colorado winning game 1, 2-1. And we'll go over that as well. And then what's going to happen in an hour or so, the Utah Mammoth, their first ever playoff appearance against the Vegas Golden Knights, who have been on fire since they fired Bruce Cassidy and hired John Tortorella. Vegas will be at home. Chipped back in here by Greenway at his own blue line. Lori will look to move it ahead. A stretch pass there, deflected into the corner. Darlene will get it now on his own side. Darlene off the boards, got it the Greenway. Flipped them into the air and not knocked down by Malenstein. And here is Hampus Lindholm carrying it back in. Kaslik ridden off there by Darlene. Heavy hits being thrown here in this game right now as it's fed back to the point for McAvoy. McAvoy's shot deflected wide of the net. Janot has it now. Angled off there by Samuelson. Another hit being thrown. A bunch of hits being thrown here in this last minute of the second period. Janot into the corner it goes. Boston putting pressure here on the Buffalo Sabres. Kaslik kicked it back along the half wall. One-time fake by Aspero. Now a one-timer by Aspero was stopped as it was blocked on the way through by Malenstein. Out to center it goes as poke checked away. There's a hand pass being called here with 38.7 to go. Man, have the Stanley Cup playoffs been so good this year. They have been excellent to watch. The game ones yesterday were not the best. I mean, probably the best one was the Flyers. Penguins won a 3-2 win for the Flyers. Porter Martin Tone, the game winner. The wild one was just a domination against the Dallas Stars. 6-1. Kaprizov getting the game winner in that game. And then Carolina scoring. Stankoven the game winner. A 2-0 shutout of the Ottawa Senators. Zadorov can't clear it out of his own zone. Held in by Norris in the final seconds of the period. Power waits, fires, it's blocked. Power gets it again. Power in behind the net now for Benson. Benson waits with 20 seconds to go here in the period. Feeds it across here for Norris. His shot deflected wide. And a big check there by Zadorov on Doan with less than 8 to go in the period. Doan in the corner, in behind the net. Doan feeds that back. Power a shot and a save made Swayman. with 0.8 to go in the period. Wow. Swayman spectacular in goal. What a hit by Zadorov on Doan, on Josh Doan. Man. Delivers the hit right there. I'll have to see the hit total when we get to our intermission report because, man, I just feel like it is ramped up here even more in the second period. They add 0.7 back to the clock, so it's 1.5 left on the second period clock. Buffalo trying to get a buzzer beater to tie this game up. Off the draw, McLeod, and now Thompson's shot was blocked. That'll do it for the second period. 40 minutes in the books. Still a 1-0 lead here for these Boston Bruins. And they'll go to the third period with the slimmest of leads. Buffalo looking to respond in the third. We'll be back. Intermission report coming up next here on the NHL MHS. And we're welcoming you back here to the NHL and MHS Intermission Report. And the Bruins still leading by the score, the slimmest of leads, 1-0. And we have brought in our analyst, Chesty. What are your thoughts? Because you're calling the same game as I am right now at the moment. And that's on MHS2. If you would... Hold on. Okay, repeat that again because the audio was not working out there.
All Buffalo needs is a lucky break. They've been the more dominant team this whole game.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the play of Swayman has been remarkable throughout this whole game. He has made some saves that has kept the Bruins in it, but also Luukkonen's made some big saves because, I mean, Pastrnak had 2 breakaways in that second period and did not score on any of them, and Luukkonen made some big stops on that. Let's just not ignore Luukkonen as well because he basically had no chance on that first one. That was a very... We'll go over that goal again, obviously, but that first goal, he could not be at fault there because, I mean, the shot block, it came back to Zacha and he rips one, but it kind of changed up on the shot because what I saw, the shot, like miles per hour, it was like 64 miles per hour, and it had to change up on a stick because it was a rolling puck as well.
Yeah.
The shots right now as they
I can't really hear you that well.
The shots right now as they read. Hold on. I have to look at that. The shots right now as they read. Let's see here. Okay. Is that better?
Yeah, that is.
Okay. So, the shots right now as they read 27-13. Yikes.
Yeah.
I mean, the Buffalo Sabres right now are dominating the Boston Bruins. But, I mean, it's still 1-0. And if Boston could just rely on Swayman again and again and again, they could honestly rob one here from the Sabres.
Yeah, 100%. But Buffalo has been the more dominant team we talked about. Yeah, 27 saves right now for Swayman.
Only 4 shots
This
for Boston.
next goal for Buffalo is going to be the most important goal in really forever. 14 years of waiting. Mm-hmm. Not only is that next goal going to be important for the team, but important for the whole city at that.
Mm-hmm. The crowd pop will be insane if they tie this game in the late stages of the third period.
It's going to be like, remember, MSG Game 7, Rangers Penguins in that one. That's going to be the crowd prop, similar to Game 7 overtime winner, you know?
What I was thinking is that Game 5 between the Rangers and Buffalo back in 2007 when Chris Drury tied it with 6.6 to go, and then Afinogenov won it in overtime. Because, I mean, Rangers were holding on with a 1-0 lead. We could honestly see that recreated here. But the Bruins have only 4 shots.
Reminds me, wasn't Jason... Remember the times on the Versus Network when Jason Beninati, I believe he was on the call for that game.
Yeah, Joe Beninati was on the call in that game.
Joe, if I was Jason, Jason Beninati, Joe Beninati.
Yeah.
They're hard. I used to think that they were siblings for the longest time, I won't lie.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, the late, great Rick Jenneret, who was the voice of the Buffalo Sabres for so many years, called that game.
Yeah.
And, with the hype video that they made before the playoffs, the Sabres using the archival recording of RJ, or Rick Jenneret, was honestly had goosebumps. It was honestly a great hype up video. I'm trying to figure out. They have not scored a goal in the playoffs since 2011. That was back in Game 7, I believe, in Philadelphia. I'm trying to figure out who scored. The last Buffalo playoff goal was scored by. We're gonna search this up, and it's gonna be from 2011. By the way, everybody, because the Buffalo Sabres have not. Brad Boyes was the last goal scorer for the Buffalo.
Would have never guessed that.
And the other one was Tyler Myers, who was playing for the Dallas Stars, and he has been atrocious because the Dallas Stars were atrocious in Game 1. We ignore that, by the way.
Yeah, let's talk about Game 1 this year.
Oh, jeez. The last Buffalo Sabres goal that was scored here at KeyBank Center was back in Game 6, and it was scored by Nathan Gerby. I believe that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
Wow. And the game winner in that one was in overtime, 5-4, Ville Leno. With the overtime winner, 4:43 into overtime. Let's also talk about what just happened in Tampa Bay.
I was about to say.
With the hat trick in overtime. We're going to just pull that up right now on the screen.
What was it, 2022 number 1 overall pick, or was it 2023?
I believe so. Man,
Because I remember he was over Shane Wright, and we saw how much of a bust he was.
and he was so good in the Olympics this year, just 2 months ago, and he has proven it here, completing the hat trick a minute and 22 into overtime. Man, it was a back-and-forth game between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Montreal Canadiens. Very good. Probably the best playoff game we've seen so far these playoffs.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if we see overtime in this one.
There are so many power play goals in that game. Holy moly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, including the game winner in the Tampa game. That is unbelievable.
That's all. That's 5-7.
That is unbelievable. Wow. No one could kill a penalty.
Woo! Wow. All right.
That is insane.
My voice is gone. I've talked about being sick, but I don't know if you can hear right now, so this third period should be interesting.
Third period should be interesting. And what
Yeah.
what do you think Boston has to do? Because obviously they've held on for, ever since Geeky scored, they've held on for 2 periods. What do you think they have to do?
I mean, their defense overall. I mean, when you look at they're doing well on the penalty kill. You saw they were locked down except for the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Buffalo even had zone time, and they talk about a huge improvement. Remember, they gave up, I believe, 7 shots on the first power play.
7 shots in the first
And then
power play. It's insane.
I think Boston really just needs to get their oh, I can't talk right now, offense more up, because they've still been dominated.
Mm-hmm. It's been a...
They look like Bonnie Blue out there.
Oh my goodness. Dear Lord.
Don't fire me. Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know how we recover from that. Anyways, that's gonna get viewership.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Woo!
Buffalo Sabres with 27 shots. Swayman's been the story of this game 1. Let's talk about the other series actually while we're at it, because we haven't really been able to talk about the other series. Carolina beating 2-0 Ottawa. What do you think about that game? Carolina plays a boring style of hockey, but it works out for them.
Well, they do something called shooting the puck.
Mm-hmm. They shoot the puck.
We know that
lot.
well.
They shoot the puck a lot
Yeah, a lot.
like high.
Yeah,
quantities.
they do.
A lot of just shot clock. Philadelphia Pittsburgh was interesting to watch. And Porter Martone with the game winner.
Yeah.
And man, the Pittsburgh crowd was very loud for game 1. Similar to how it is in Buffalo.
Yeah.
I mean, Buffalo is rocking. The Buffalo Sabres have an underrated fan base when they make the playoffs. Seeing all the pregame stuff on Twitter was honestly hilarious. There was a guy like punching like a mannequin or like a punching bag of. Like,
I saw
Boston
that.
Bruins.
Yeah.
And I showed the clip here on the open. That was hilarious to see that on Twitter before doing this game. In our poll right now, we have 56 votes in our poll right now and on the main channel. Who will win game 1? 75% of them have the Buffalo Sabres. Right now,
That does not surprise me all the least.
Mm-mm.
When you look at this game on paper, it looks like Buffalo should be dominating right now, like 4-1 even.
Yes, but it is gonna be a wild finish to the third period. It seems like it's gonna be a great finish to this game. Obviously, if Boston can improve, though, this could be, because you got to know Buffalo has been nonstop offense for 40 minutes right now. You don't think Buffalo has an off period in this third period? It could be at the worst time, obviously, too. You don't think the Boston Bruins are just tired of just sitting back, or do you think Buffalo's just going to keep on going until they get that tying goal?
There's a point. I mean, I consider Buffalo similar to Carolina with how they've been playing today, with just throwing everything at night. Eventually, we're going to talk about the Panthers wearing down their opponent. They've been doing that really throughout the game. You saw Boston starting to show some cracks rather later in the second.
It's just, it's going to be a close one. And if we do get overtime, it will be the second overtime game of the playoffs.
Right. I'm excited to see the Mammoth, though.
Yeah, the Mammoth is going to be an interesting one. I'm honestly curious about the Ducks Edmonton series. Dreisaitl's coming back, and the Ducks are going to have to be very, very worried for that one. And the home team.
You have to eventually fill out MHS brackets if you want to do that after the game. Fill out brackets together. You want to do that?
We'll see.
On stream?
We'll see.
It depends if this game goes to triple overtime or not. Who knows?
This could go to 4 overtimes. This could be another Mayday.
Thank God we live in Central Time and not Eastern.
Yeah. Jeez. If
No doubt.
this game goes long, I'm going to have to pull up the graphic I've been working on. Longest overtime games, the top 10. The Stars are in that one so many times, too. Buffalo. I think the longest game in Buffalo history was back in 1994 between the New Jersey Devils and the Sabres back at the old Buffalo Sabres arena. And I believe it was Dave Hannon who scored that 4 overtime winner. 4 overtimes. And the funniest part about that story was because Rick Jeanneret said he was holding in. He had to go to the bathroom so bad. And when he scored, he started celebrating just finishing the call and ran to the bathroom. That's just probably one of the funniest stories. Just imagine that. You're calling the game in the arena. You can't get out of your booth, and you got to go so badly, and it's gone on for that long. Basically, more than 2 games, basically.
Yeah.
We could see this in Game 1. Obviously, we haven't seen any long overtime games here in this playoffs. We only saw a minute and a half, basically, in the Montreal game because they had that power play.
Yeah.
It would have probably been
Things the
different.
year where we do not see a Florida team in the playoff in the Stanley Cup final.
I would not count Tampa. I would not count Tampa out. Tampa is pretty scary sometimes when they. Yeah. Hey,
except against this young, I'd be excited to see the Canadians in the final.
Montreal is a young, talented team, and they really learned a lot from last year against the Washington Capitals when they lost in 5 because they could not score they could not even get a goal in that series. It seemed like in Washington, they struggled scoring there, and give me a big third period here. I think Montreal has to learn a lot though from last year's playoff run against the Washington Capitals. And any closing thoughts before we go? Because we got to go to our separate booths now.
Yeah, separated by about 400 miles away. Wait, how the hell is a 2021 Stanley Cup final between the Lightning and Canadians? Now I'm going crazy.
2021 was Tampa, Montreal, because it was still the COVID.
No, I know
things.
Tampa. Oh yeah, it was COVID.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, didn't they have the play-in that year?
No, it was different. But
they had it for 2 years, or was they have one?
They had the divisions weird that year. So
the divisions were all mixed up. I forgot.
Okay, final thoughts.
It's crazy how long ago that's been.
Yeah.
All right, closing words. This next goal is going to be so important.
Yep, Buffalo needs the next goal if they want to keep it going.
Yeah.
All right, now third period.
I'll see you.
See you.
We'll be back after for bracket filling out. I'm forcing Max into this.
All right, we're back here in the third period. The Sabres trying to come back in the game, down by a goal, looking to tie. And welcome you back in, everybody. 1-0. The Boston Bruins leading by the slimmest of leads right now. And they look to try to come back in the game and tie it here in Game 1. And Jeremy Swayman, a big part in why they have been pretty. They've kept that 1-0 lead. Been the big reason why they've kept that 1-0 lead in this game, because he has been absolutely spectacular in this hockey game. Share the stream around if you're tuning in with us. A big third period for the Sabres, and the Boston Bruins just trying to hold on. The next goal is crucial in this one for the Buffalo Sabres. If they don't get it, ooh boy. Buffalo out shooting Boston by a ton, almost at 30 shots. Boston is at 12. They only had 4 shots in that second period. They had 8 in the first. And they want to get some offense going. They need to get it now for the Boston Bruins. Buffalo still looking for the tying mark here in this one. The only goal coming from Morgan Geekie back in the first period. Crowd here in Buffalo waving those towels on their feet. Third period. A big one here for the Sabres already here in this game. Attacking zone time, 10:15 for Buffalo in exactly 7 minutes for the Boston Bruins. This crowd here in Buffalo is ready to explode if they can tie this game up. This crowd pop would go insane. This crowd's ready. Third period, the players are ready. We're underway in the third period. 20 minutes left here, potentially, unless we go to an overtime. Flipped up into the air and chipped back into the corner. Tuck trying to get there first. Poked away there by McAvoy. Tuck and Krebs on the forecheck. Thompson trying to fish it free. Krebs fell down. And out to center it goes. Chipped ahead here. Here's Zacha. Carrying it ahead. Spins back. Zacha. Zacha moving in. He fires a shot that deflected wide. Hasbro could not hold it at the line there. Here come the Sabres right to the middle. Tuck trying to force it in deep. Couldn't. Aspero now plays it to McAvoy. Charlie McAvoy will poke it ahead. And Power has it in behind his own net. Loss of the Pasternak, though. A board battle ensues in behind the net. Pasternak feeds that back here for Zadorov. Point to point here. Long shot. Blocked on the way through. Geeky gets a bouncing puck to settle down. Pasternak gets it to Elias Lindholm. Back to the point again. Shot around the boards. Pasternak in behind. Looks a center one. What a save. Rebound score! Elias Lindholm on the rebound has given the Bruins a 2-0 lead. A minute and 8 into the third period. Geeky the first attempt and the second attempt, and then on the third attempt, what a pass from behind the net, though, by Pasternak. And Elias Lindholm gets the goal, and it is a 2-0 Bruins lead. Wow. And Luukkonen could not stop that. And so the Boston Bruins, with the first 3 shots of this period, have given themselves a 2-0 lead. Doan lost it. Here is Min the other way, shooting it around the boards. So a 2-goal lead now. First goal we've had since the first period. Min now has the puck once again in the corner. Shot towards the net was stopped there. Hagen's trying to get to the loose puck, and he couldn't. Buffalo trying to dent this deficit now. They're down by 2, and they got to get one. Hustadinov into the middle. Poke checked up in the air. Doan settles a bouncing puck down. Stanley will move it ahead. Big check thrown at the blue line. And Min will play that back here for the Boston Bruins. Here's Hampus Lindholm shooting it back in. 27-15, the shots favoring the Buffalo Sabres. But they are down by 2 goals here in this game number 1 at the KeyBank Center. That will go down the length of the ice for an icing. 2 minutes and 8 seconds into the third period. So Boston gets that crucial next goal. 14th career playoff goal for Elias Lindholm. Geeky with the chance there, and then the rebound by Elias Lindholm through the 5-hole of Luukkonen. The Buffalo Sabres fans hyped up for their first playoff game. There's people outside watching, and they have not been able to cheer about anything, basically. They're 0 for 3 on the power play as well. This Sabres crowd has been quiet because they've had nothing to cheer about since the open. And they're getting worried right now. They're going to need a really big goal by someone. Someone needs to be a hero for them. Dunn and Lindholm in the face-off dot. Inside the Buffalo zone. Another face-off win here by Elias Lindholm. Shot by Laurie was blocked, and Dunn will move it ahead. Dunn chips it in on Swayman. Poked into the corner. Dunn forced off there. Geeky trying to clear. Off the skate of Samuelson, he forced it in deeper. Pasternak now moves it ahead here for the Bruins into the middle. Elias Lindholm, the drop pass for Geeky. His shot around the boards. Pasternak gets it in the corner. Forced off there. Looked like a slash. They didn't call it. Greenway will move it ahead now for the Sabres. There's a penalty upcoming, and it is a penalty. It looked like a slash. The back referee didn't call it, and they're calling Pasternak. And so the Sabres, with their 4th power play of the game, trying to dent the deficit to 1.
Boston penalty number 88. 2-minute minus for slashing.
A slashing call. And so Pasternak Slashing the stick out of Dunn's hands. Pasternak laughing on why that was called. But a huge power play here for the Sabres, trying to cut the deficit to 1 and trying to get their first goal in a playoff game since Game 7 against the Flyers back in 2011, and their first one here since Game 6 at the KeyBank Center. 0 for 3 on the power play. They have 7 shots on their power play opportunities. Their previous power play, though, their last one, had none. They got to get setting up here as the Bruins got it out to center. Here's Thompson carrying it ahead. Quinn along the half wall. Thompson played it back to the point, or tried to at least. Intercepted, though, by Kaslik and sent down the length of the ice. Luukkonen played it in behind his own net. Dahlin, the captain, trying to lead his way back into the game. Dahlin at his own blue line got it to Zucker. Around it goes. Swayman knocked it down in behind the net. McAvoy lost it along the boards. Bodies tumble to the ice. And cleared out by Hampus Lindholm. Luukkonen. Buffalo getting the change here as Byram carries the puck ahead. He'll drop it off with a minute left to go on this power play here for the Sabres. McLeod played it for Benson. He gets the puck back here. Some trouble at the blue line. Here's Benson with some room. Benson across McLeod. Shot save! Cleared out by the Bruins. Luukkonen. 40 seconds to go on the power play for Buffalo. Byram carries it through center. Poke checked away immediately. And out to center again it goes. McLeod. Half a minute left to go on their power play. McLeod a tuck. Tuck at the blue line. Made a move. Chipped it along the near boards. Got it to Byram in his skates. Here's Benson down low at the goal line. McLeod looking to set up in front. Benson waiting. Feeds that back. Byram across. Fakes the one-time bid here. Pass. Byram! Save made. Swayman again. Jeremy Swayman, brilliant in net here in Game 1. 5 seconds to go on the Buffalo power play. And almost 30 shots here for the Sabres. (29-16), the shots favoring the Buffalo Sabres. Bowen Byron with the previous opportunity. Regular season, 42 points, 11 goals, and 31 assists. Off the face-off. That'll do it for the Buffalo power play. They're 0 for 4. That was a little bit better than their previous one, but not as good as their first 2. Samuelson. Boston's power or penalty kill has been getting better throughout the course of this game. It will be an icing here on the Boston Bruins, though, with 15:03 left to go in the third period. 2-0. Boston leading it here in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinals. Quiet crowd here now in Buffalo, because obviously nothing much to cheer for, and haven't had a goal to be scored here in this game for the Buffalo Sabres. Zucker in behind the net. Jason Zucker tied up in behind by Lohrei. It is Quinn feeding that back. Faking the one-time bid was a Dahlin, and the shot went wide. Another shot, and it went wide again. Might have hit the face of Zucker. And that one deflected. 14:41 to go. Boston in the driver's seat with a 2-0 lead. And time is going to become a factor here for the Buffalo Sabres if they can't get one. They need to get one in the next probably 4 or 5 minutes to just get this crowd back in the game. If they get one, the momentum shifts. Because obviously the home crowd here and everyone is wanting to see another goal here, or one goal at least, because they haven't seen one in 14 years with these Buffalo Sabres. In behind the net, Bounced into the middle. Played back here for Thompson. His shot blocked on the way through. Held at the line, though. In behind the net, Tuck. McAvoy. It was loose, and Aspero gets it now. Plays it off the boards. Out to center it goes. Knocked down. Arvidsson tried to carry it ahead. Stanley, though, pressured from behind by Zaka. Krebs will get it along the near boards. Intercepted by Arvidsson as he was trying to pass it to Tage Thompson. Here's McAvoy once again, carrying it ahead. More than 6 minutes into the third period. Power will get it in his own corner. Hagen's trying to get there on the forecheck. Power in behind his own net. 2-0. The Bruins leading it here in Buffalo. Stretch into the middle. Maybe a 3-on-2. Here's Doan. His shot. Save made. Swayman. A low shot into the pad. And a scuffle afterwards. 13:38 to go in the third period. It is a 2-0 lead due to Elias Lindholm. The Buffalo Sabres trying to come back. The Bruins trying to hold on in game 1 of this series. Crowd here in Buffalo, quiet, nothing to cheer about for these Buffalo Sabres if they have not scored a goal here in Game 1, their first playoff game since Game 7 against the Philadelphia Flyers back in 2011, their first year at KeyBank Center since Game 6 of that series. And they have not scored here in this one. Swayman has made 30 saves at this point. Crowd trying to rally here. 6.5 minutes into the third period here in Buffalo. That's offside with 13.5 to go. Type in the chat who you're going for. In our poll, 75% of our votes have gone to Sabres to win this game number 1. We'll see, though. 13.5 to go on the third. Face-off inside the Buffalo end. Krebs in the face-off dot against Hustadinov as Fraser Min got kicked out of the draw. Off the draw by Hustadinov, he won the draw shot right into the glove of Luukkonen, who makes the stop there. He's made 15 stops as well. 28-17, the shots favoring the Buffalo Sabres. Boston, one of 4 active franchises that have made the playoffs at least 75% of total seasons. The other 3 teams are Vegas, Montreal, and St. Louis. Off the draw, another shot off the draw was blocked and out of play, and another face-off inside the Buffalo zone. It was a misstart on the face-off dot, never mind. Something needs to spark here for the Sabres. They could really use something to change the tides. They're going to need some momentum shift here to even get back in this game. Because down 2, Time ticking here in the third period. Huge goal by Elias Lindholm, though, early on. 24th face-off win for the Sabres here in the game. Here's Quinn carrying it ahead. Forced it into the corner. Peak. A thrown hit there in the corner there by Quinn. And out to center it goes, back into the Buffalo end. Byram in his own zone. We'll look to stretch it ahead here. McLeod off his stick. Into the middle. Here comes Hustadinov. Hustadinov in. Fires, and a save made off the pad of Luukkonen. A low shot there, and Kaslik around the boards. It goes to the point. Lohrei holds it in along the half wall. Lohrei. Corrali in behind. Corrali off the back of the cage. Byram waits. Patiently waiting for it. He got it to Power with 12:40 to go here in the third period. Fired back in from the blue line. Hampus Lindholm gets bumped there. No icing. Dahlin back for the puck here in his own end. Something needs to spark here for the Sabres if they want to get going here. Benson into the corner. Banked off the wall. Lohrei around it goes. Dahlin at the blue line. Dahlin holds. He fires a shot that got blocked on the way through. Samuelsson gets it in the corner. Samuelsson tied up along the wall. Continue to be fought for. Still, Hampus Lindholm got it free to Janot. Across the ice here for Lohrei. Lohrei looking. Into the middle, Kaslik one-on-one. Mark Kaslik lost the handle. Fell down. Tuck will move it ahead. Tuck has it at center once again. He carries it back into the zone. Tuck driving to the net. Shot! And it missed wide. Held at the blue line. Krebs will carry it back out to center. More than 8 has passed by here in the third period. Thompson trying to feed it into the middle. Couldn't, as he found on the pass. Geekie chips it back into the corner. Less than 11.5 to go here in the third period. Buffalo, time ticking on them right now here in game 1. Tuck will get it in the corner. Big check thrown there in the corner. Held it at the line. Could not. Krebs crossed the ice here for Stanley. Logan Stanley. Timmins going for a change. As both teams are going for changes right now with 9 minutes passing by here in the third period. No icing is deflected into the corner. Dunn trying to get it free. Josh Dunn in behind the net now. Beck Mallenstein gets it now. Mallenstein's shot from the boards deflected wide. Byram along the near boards. Arvidsson pressuring him. Skates are in the way of the puck there as it's jammed up along the near boards. Fished free. Byram left it. Power shot was stopped by Swayman. Power gets it once again. Feeds it back, and it got over the stick of Byram. Byram once again will carry it through center ice. Fires it back in. Blockered away into the corner by Swayman. Greenway forced it in behind the net. Mallenstein trying to get there. Into the middle, Dunn. Dunn in the corner. Mallenstein will get it to the opposite side. Bruins trying to clear it here. But the Buffalo Sabres have possession right now, halfway through the third period of game 1. 2-0. Bruins leading it here in Buffalo. Hustadinov chips it out to center ice. Knocked down here by Zucker. All 5 players in their own zone. Dahlin carries it ahead and flips it back in from center. McAvoy. The backhand pass that failed there. Trying to take advantage of it. Quinn angled off there by Aspero. Cleared down the length of the ice. Not enough for icing. Pasternak in behind. Samuelsson. Cleared out to center by the Buffalo Sabres. They haven't been able to generate anything. Boston's done a very good defensive job in limiting the opportunities here of the Sabres. Game 2's on Tuesday of this series. Either it's a 1-0 lead for the Bruins or a 1-0 lead for the Sabres. Heading into game 2 in KeyBank Center. Janot. Corrali chipped it in. Knocked down. Buffalo looks to move it ahead. Doan in, fires, and a save made. Swayman, he gets bumped afterwards, and here we go. Zadorov and Doan getting at it now, both the 91s, with 8:50 to go. We'll be back. Bruins leading by 2. Bruins fans pretty happy right now. The ones that are here at KeyBank Center with a 2-0 lead over the Buffalo Sabres. Sabres trying to make a comeback here. And with 8:50 to go, they're going to need 2 quickly. Because there's probably only one more media timeout in this third period. They're going to need to get one soon. Off the draw. Tied up. Peak. Off the glass. Out to center. Dahlin has it. Dahlin holding. Plays it off the boards as the Sabres try to cross in on side. Intercepted once again here. The Buffalo Sabres have not been able to create much here in the third period. Shots are 4-3 in favor of the Bruins here in the third. It's pretty even in the play right now. Byram will carry it ahead. And guy to Tuck. Here's Alex Tuck in, fires, and a save made. Now, a chance out in front. Tuck, a bouncing puck, gets it back. Thompson feeds it for Byram. Byram shot. It was blocked on the way through. Wow. Now Tage Thompson, wrap around, he scores! Tage Thompson! The first goal for the Sabres in 14 years in the playoffs without getting a goal. And now they have scored. And a fight after the goal. It is now a 2-1 game. And don't go anywhere. And the Buffalo crowd goes insane. The huge goal, his first ever playoff goal, Tage Thompson. This play happens. Krebs battling behind the net. Swayman does not know where that puck is in behind the net. And Tage Thompson tucks it home on the backhand to slide it home on the wraparound attempt and then the fight afterwards. I'm not sure if we're going to get any penalties after that, but the crowd here in Buffalo is fired up. They're back in it with Tage Thompson's wraparound goal. And he's fired up, and the crowd here in Buffalo has reignited their first ever playoff goal since Game 7 against Philly, the first here in this arena since Game 6 of that series against Philly. Wow. The Sabres now And this crowd have all the momentum maybe swung in their favor. 7:58 to go in the third. And they're back in it. Shot back in by Samuelson, and this crowd awakens. Here's Power feeding that back. Samuelson's shot went wide, trying to bank it up on a Swayman, and it stopped. Oh boy, they were looking for the tying mark right there. Zadorov. And now the Sabres are back into the crowd. It's back in as well as they announce the goal here at the KeyBank Center. Back in. Samuelson tried to carry it ahead. Poke checked away. Here's Hagens the other way. Hagens fires! Blocker save by Luukkonen. 7:26 to go. Oh boy, this crowd has just reawakened. Hagens shot right off the elbow blocker of Luukkonen as Power deflects the shot. 33 shots on goal for the Sabres, 18 for Boston. On their 32nd shot, they finally breaking Jeremy Swayman in his shutout bid here in Game 1. Huge hit in behind the net by Stanley on Pasternak, and they're looking to tie this game up late in the third period. 7:15 to go in the third. Bruins, Sabres, Timmins chips it ahead. Doan trying to get there. Now Benson into the corner. Peak trying to get it. Tied up behind the net. Trying to fish it free was Benson. It goes back along the half wall. Timmins couldn't get there. Race for the puck here. Geekie. Stanley trying to get there. Luukkonen out to play it. Stanley gets it. Then turned it over to Geekie almost. Trying to feed it into the middle. Zaka. And then a trip up there. It looked like a penalty on the Bruins. Was not called. That could have been a trip. But late in the game, I don't think they're going to call any penalties. Aspero fires it back in with 6.5 to go in the third period. Buffalo back in it. And bounces to the middle. Tage Thompson trying to split through the middle there. Tage Thompson spins back. Here he comes entering the zone again. Tage Thompson. Some nice stick handling moves to carry it back in. Tuck in behind the net. Krebs trying to get there. He's battled for in behind. Centering pass. Tage Thompson whacked at it. And he's stopped by Swayman. Fed back to the point. Darlene holds it in. Long shot. Deflected. It was blocked on the way through Krebs. Krebs gets it. Try to feed it back for Darlene. Forced out the center with less than 6 minutes to go in the third period. Byram fires it back in from the blue line. Krebs will get it in behind the net. Pressured by Hampus Lindholm. Along the boards. Hustadinov trying to clear it. Could not. As Darlene holds it in. Darlene fires a shot that got blocked. Quinn! Save made. Swayman. 5:39 to go in the third. Do not go anywhere right now. Tage Thompson's made it a game again. It's 2-1 with less than 6 minutes to go. crowd here in Buffalo has just exploded for the first time since 2011. They finally scored a playoff goal, and this crowd is standing here at the KeyBank Center, a sold-out crowd here in Buffalo, looking for the tying goal here in Game 1. Face-off won here by the Bruins in their own zone, as Hampus Lindholm got it into the middle for Mitten, lost it. Dahlin off the boards for McLeod, who chips it back in. McLeod into the corner. McAvoy rid him off the boards and held in the zone by Byram. His shot was blocked by Hustadinov, who carries it ahead. Hustadinov back in on side. Got it to Hagens. Return pass to Hustadinov. Lost it on the back check. McLeod got it. McLeod carries it to his own blue line. Buffalo going for a change here. As Power picks up the puck here. 5 minutes to go in the third period. Can Buffalo tie the game late? Zadorov gets it off the failed dumping attempt there by the Sabres. It will be an icing on Boston with 4:51 to go. Share the stream around. It's going to be a good finish here in Buffalo. As the Sabres have pulled within one. Their first playoff goal since Game 7 against Philadelphia in 2011, and their first win here at the KeyBank Center since Game 6 in that same series. Off the draw, one here. Here's Power. He plays it across. Long shot by Samuelson, blocking her way into the corner. Pasternak into the middle it goes for Elias Lindholm, who has a difference here in the game. Geeky trying to slash it back in. Pasternak in behind the net. Ridden off there, and Power has it with 4.5 to go in the third. Power into the middle for Tuck. He carries it back in off the boards to Samuelson. Samuelson shot, save made, rebound, loose in front, shot, went wide of the net. Thompson in behind the net now. Tuck trying to get on the forecheck. Thompson steals it away. Thompson shot, he scores! Tage Thompson has tied it with 4:16 to go. 2-2 in Buffalo. Wow. And this barn's just exploded. 2-2 with 4:16 to go. What a move by Tage Thompson. He has 2 goals in the game, and he's tied it late in the third. Under the pad of Swayman, and we're tied. And this crowd is back in it. Leveled at 2. A 2-0 lead gone for the Bruins. And a brand new hockey game with 4 minutes to go in the third period. Sent back in by Boston. Stanley will get it in behind his own net. Around it goes. Knocked down by Kaslik. Fed back to the plate. McAvoy the shot. Gloved by Luukkonen. With 3:48 to go. And everyone gets together in front of the Buffalo net. The Buffalo Sabres have just tied the game at 2. Tage Thompson. Oh, here we go. The fight starts in the corner. What is happening? What a chaotic first game of this series as everyone piles on. The whole crowd in it. Oh my goodness. Multiple players without their helmets in the corner. Everyone tumbling on each other right now. Doan, Kaslik, Corrali, Benson, Timmins all in the corner. This crowd is riled up. And there's going to be penalties called on this with 3:48 to go in the third period. Oh, boy. Buffalo has just tied it with Tage Thompson's second goal of the game, his second career playoff goal in his career. Tage Thompson made it a 1-goal game earlier. And Aaron, our usual analyst, is in the chat. And Kaslik and Corrali go to the box here. And let's see what the calls are.
52 for Boston, number 21 and number 6 for Buffalo, 2 each for roughing, 5-on-5.
So they do call penalties, but they keep the game 5-on-5. And I think that's fair because really you do not want to get this game called or ended in a power play late in the game here. Because, it wouldn't, yeah. 3:48 to go in the third period here in Buffalo, and the Sabres have come back from a 2-goal deficit here in the third period. We've had 3 goals here in this third period. 1 by Elias Lindholm and 2 by Tage Thompson to tie this game up at 2. And this crowd in Buffalo is enjoying their first playoff game since 2011. And what a game we've had so far, and there's still 3:48 to go in the third. Crowd is riled up here in the KeyBank Center. Off the draw, 1 by Zacha. Middlestat along the boards. Big hit thrown there by Samuelson. Around it goes. Hampus Lindholm. Now Middlestat in behind. Around it goes. Held into the blue line. Here come the Sabres. Here comes McLeod shooting it back in. 3.5 to go in the third period. Boston is stunned right now. In the corner, Malenstein feeds it back up top. Shot! Score! Malenstein, with 3:24 to go, has given Buffalo their first lead of the night. They've stunned the Bruins. And with 3:22 to go, the Sabres have their first lead of Game 1. Short side on the blocker side by Malenstein. And the Sabres have their first lead of Game 1 and their first lead since Game 6 back in 2011 here at the KeyBank Center. And they have the lead late. Wow. What a shot by Malenstein. And the Sabres have their first lead, and all of a sudden, 2 goals scored in 52 seconds by the Buffalo Sabres. And they have the lead for the first time. 3 minutes to go. The Boston Bruins are stunned. Here's Zadorov. He fires a shot wide of the net. Rebound was loose in front. Into the corner. Hagen's trying to get it. He feeds it back up top for Zadorov, looking to tie the game. Fires a shot that deflected wide. Krebs now fishes it out to center ice. Wow, what a third period here in Buffalo. They have a 3-2 lead with 2:45 to go. And it becomes a question when they pull the goaltender for Boston. They're announcing the goal here, and it's going electric here in Buffalo. You can just tell by the images we're seeing right now. Pastrnak into the middle. That pass could not connect. Malenstein. Lindholm. And now carried ahead here. Elias Lindholm, Pastrnak left it in the middle. Malenstein pokes it out to center ice. Not out of the zone just yet. Elias Lindholm around it goes. Pastrnak in behind the net. Pastrnak looks to center one. It's loose in front. Waiting, Hampus Lindholm. The pass couldn't go. 2:10 to go in the third. Everyone is standing here in Buffalo. Geekie will move it ahead. Zacha off a skate. And out to center it goes. Hampus Lindholm got it. McAvoy will move it ahead with less than 2 to go in the third period. Zacha's back in onside. Zacha looking for the tying goal. Couldn't. Zucker in the corner. Quinn cleared out of the zone by the Sabres. 1:45 to go in the third period here in Game 1. Lori will carry it ahead. Boston looking to tie it. They're going to pull the goaltender soon here. Lori in behind. There goes Swayman. He gets hit. Lori gets hit real badly there in the corner. Shot wide of the net. It got blocked into the corner. 1:28 to go. Held at the line by Middlestat. And pressured at the line there. Held it again once again. Fired a shot that got blocked. Tage Thompson looking for the hat trick. Clears it out to center. It's Alex Tuck for the empty net. He scores! The Sabres have come all the way back to win the game. They're up 4-2 with 1:12 to go in the third period. Wow. A shocking turn of events here in Buffalo. 4 unanswered by the Sabres. A 2-0 Boston lead disappears, and Buffalo has their first 2-goal lead. Wow. A shocking third period. But it was kind of expected because, man, how the Buffalo Sabres outplayed the Boston Bruins in this game. Wow. Stunned are the Boston Bruins, actually. 70 seconds to go. Darlene fires it into the corner. A 4-2 lead now for the Sabres. They're going to celebrate their first win of the playoffs since Game 5 of that 2011 series where they won it in overtime. On the road in Philadelphia. Empty net again for the Boston Bruins. Don't to hit it again. He fired it wide. 45 seconds to go. McAvoy, this crowd is absolutely amped up right now. That's going to be an icing on the Boston Bruins with 37.2 to go. This crowd is electric. What a shocking turn of events here. Wow. I'm speechless. This is unbelievable. What a comeback by the Sabres here in the third period. And the way they're doing it here in their first playoff game since 2011, it's unbelievable. Swayman's back in the net anyways. Crowd here in Buffalo wants the win. Timmins around the boards. And Hampus Lindholm got into the middle for Min. There goes Swayman once again, turned over to Thompson almost. Lindholm plays that back. 22 seconds to go. Hampus Lindholm got tripped up. That's going to be a penalty with 18.5 to go, and the Boston Bruins get a late power play late here in the game.
Flow number 72, minor penalty for tripping.
Tage Thompson going to the box for tripping. 2 goals in the game. He'll be in the penalty box. He was trying to get that hat trick too. I don't think it matters. The Buffalo Sabres are just shocked the hockey world and how they've come back here in this game. 18.5 to go in the third period. Absolutely unbelievable what the Buffalo Sabres have done. The story that they are writing right now. They got to kill off a penalty, though. Off the draw, shot deflected into the corner. Malenstein tied up, 10 seconds to go. Time ticking down here for the Buffalo Sabres to try to win this game. Backhand score! Late in the game with 6.2 to go. Boston gets one back. David Pastrnak. It is 4-3. Wow. That empty net goal is huge right now, or else that could have been the tying goal. That went off of bodies. That went off a knee in front. 4-3 now with 7.2 to go. Can the Boston Bruins shock the hockey world now? That would be something if they tie it here late. Empty net for the Bruins. One last face-off. One here by Boston. Played back in their own zone. 3 seconds to go. That'll do it. The Sabres win game 1. Wow, what a game this was. Wow. A shocking turn of events here for the Boston Bruins. Unbelievable way how this game went around here. Wow. And the Buffalo Sabres lead the best of 7 series, 1-0, coming back here in the third period to win it by a final score of 4-3. Wow. What a victory here by the Buffalo Sabres. An unbelievable victory. That's unbelievable. the way they ended this game, the way they came back late here in the third period. Wow. What a hockey game. We've had some great hockey games here in this one. Man, have the playoffs been real good, and we're only in our second game of our coverage here of these playoffs. Well, that'll do it from us here on the NHL and MHS. 4-3, the Sabres come back and win game one, and they lead the best-of-7 series against the Bruins 1-0. 4-3 your final here in Buffalo. Alex stuck the empty net game-winning goal. We'll see you next time. Good night, everybody. I'm Max. Good night. So long from Buffalo.